Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat if I can be heard. Drop a 12,000 in the chat if I can be heard. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee, the Megaton Light Bomb. Y'all see the title? Pre-Nicene Christian Library. We gonna talk about it. Literature like the Gospel of the Hebrews, Gospel of the Ebionites, Gospel of the Holy 12, Clementine, Homilies, recognitions of Clement, all that. We're going to talk about it. You dig? So y'all drop a 12,000 if I could be heard loud and clear. Make sure it ain't no echoing and none of that madness going on. You dig? And let's cook. Let's talk about it today, man. We going to get her done. I'm going to go ahead and play a little more tones, a little more jams, share some of this CGG creativity going on in this deal. We going to cook. We don't do nothing else. We gonna cook. Yes, sir.
Taste prayer, hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you know what you know, and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud. Taste prayer, hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you know what you know, and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud. prayed deep where the pain don't hide. Down in the dirt where the hurt reside. He spoke one truth and the clouds slid wide, letting the sun hit the block like a ship in the tide. They act first, Father, make the unseen near, and the sky bow down just to make things clear. Teach me truth, let the pride disappear. Show me my flaws so the past steer clear. I seen broke hearts start breathing again. Seen doubts creep in when the spirit descend. When you call from the depth, ain't no falling back in. Jehovah raise you up, no Lord contends. Take away self, let the weakness confess. Turn a soul from the chaos to a place of rest. Seen a lost man stretch past the chains and the nets, cause the purpose stood firm under pressure and stress.
Today's prayer hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you're knowing what you know and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud. Today's prayer hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you're knowing what you know and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud.
I came from the low where the hurt sit deep, where the nights get long and the hope gets weak. But Tay's prayer hit, woke the pain out of sleep, made the whole hood feel what the wise wanna speak. Make me strong in me, and the chains fell down. Turn an unheard voice to a well-known sound. Fear is a thief, steady blocking your crown, but the truth punched through, knocked the lies to the ground. Light up the heart, ditch the self-made clout, make the inner man glow, cause he truly devout. Seen deep wounds close from the inside out, seen a man gain hope where he once had doubt. Oh, a speed gave game that the world don't teach. Truth so complete, you can feel it in speech. Every lesson a reminder why we push for the peak, and only putting words to action bring the goal in reach.
Today's prayer hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you knowing what you know and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud. Today's prayer hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you knowing what you know and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud.
Now the Cosmo and Erba got the world on shift. Dark clouds take flight like Ethereum ships. Souls lost in the rifts and the messenger swift, bearing orders from Jehovah on a heavenly writ. They walk first, so the pathway clear. Ask Creator for the truth, no vanity near. Make me upright, Father, keep my vision sincere. Let the old world fade, bring the new world here. I seen hope stay warm in the season of cold. Seen faith carry man down a beaten road. I seen the spirit hold firm with a massive load. Seen man stand pat when the plan unfold. Every creed that we chant get intention now. Every seed that we plant seek ascension now. Let Jehovah in your heart, ain't no stressing you out. Releasing all the tension that's been pressing you down.
Today's prayer hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you knowing what you know and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud. Today's prayer hit the heavens when it's leaving the mouth. Wake up the old souls that been sleep on the couch. When you knowing what you know and ain't no speaking in doubt. And when Jehovah get to show and raise a king from a cloud.
I need a faithless wife. Foundation built right with a woman in life. I need a faithless wife. Walking the path in the faithless life. I need a faithless wife. Foundation built right with a woman alive. I need a faithless wife. Yeah, walking the path in the faithless life. I need a faithless wife, full of prayer every day. Moving with intention, never drifting astray. Disciplined and gentle, but firm and approachable. Grounded in the light, and the presence always notable. See how she carry quiet strength in the front. Not for empty talk or for playing no games. Mind kept in order, spirit kept in line. Building from the base, help you rise over time. Simple in the walk, not impressed by the shine. Keeps the vessel clean, every action in line. Through the highs and lows, she don't break a divide. Keeps the path steady as she walk at your side. No confusion in the aim, no drift in the road. Helps refine the work, keeps it under control. This for the faithless, seeking peace over noise. Watch how it's showing her steps in the poise. I need a faithless wife. Foundation built right with a woman of life. I need a faithless wife. Walking the path in the faithless life. I need a faithless wife. Foundation built right with a woman alive. I need a faithless wife. Yeah, walking the
path in the faith. She keep her tone soft and don't move with the crowd. Balanced in the ways but never speaking it loud. She got a prayer for the souls that have lost their way. Keeps memories close though friendships fade. Not the type to chase every sign that appear. Understands the pull, but she keep the vision clear. Idea of building by Jehovah's design, where it's more about the spirit and the growth of the mind. Dressed plain and clean, not impressed by the drip. When the pressure hits, she never fold or flip. Standing in the place, never quick to react. When the noise get loud, oh, our speed get cracked. She move with awareness, see the shifts in the air. Knows what to give and what's forbidden to share. Carries it with grace, how she walk, how she speak. If the vibe get off when playing for the weak. I need a faithless wife. Foundation built right with a woman of life. I need a faithless wife. Walking the path in the faithless life. I need a faithless wife. Foundation built right with a woman of life. I need a faithless wife. Walking the path in the faith. Now the bill feel different when the union right. Two aligned in the wheel, both moving alike. Nothing getting in between, no division inside. Everything in sync. When she walk, I feel pride. When the pressure come in, it get handled with ease. No confusion in the steps, everything flow with peace. She don't add to the weight, she be helping it lift. Turn the strain into growth, such a delicate gift. Every move got a reason, every choice got a base. Ain't no drift in the bond, everything in its place. From the mind to the work, it's a unified flow. What was hard on your own, now is easily grow. This the type of connection that refine over time. Not just love, it's alignment in the body and mind. That's the reason it matter who's standing beside. With a faithless wife, keep the whole path aligned. I need a faithless wife. Foundation built right with a woman of life. I need a faithless wife. Walking the path in the faith is life. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turn into lies. Records get twisted. Records get twisted. Truth wasn't written, it lived and applied. Images carved, but they not what they imply. Copies get lifted and passed to the scribes. Hands on the script, but it slowly run dry. Circles and lines held the truth they can't hide. Pointing to the all, but reduced to a sign. Told not to seek it, just stay and comply. But light get diminished the moment it's tied. Priests in the center, the people outside. Words getting filtered before they even apply. Gatekeepers shaping what souls can't defy. Twist the truth in the text so the ego align. Nothing was said about looking inside. All of the noise outside keep the mind occupied. Truth was a whisper they learned to divide. Buried in the scriptures that were written in lies. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turned into lies. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turned into lies. Voices get carried and shift in the span. Truth leave the source, get reshaped by hand. Spoken outside, but not part of the plan. So hear it clear without the preaching of man. Leaders keep building the heavens they command. Guards along the path, so it passed through a brain. Teaching the code, so obedience stand. Blocking the truth from the masses caught up in the sham. Some start to notice it wasn't so grand. The rise then decline all across the land. Stories get buried, then uncovered in sand. Every time echo patterns they don't understand. Reading all the records, the mind expands. Seeing the same cycle that once sunk pan. The meanings got altered the further they ran. And they took it as truth, then made laws and declared. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turned into lies. Looking at records, the truth can be known. Same things repeated, then written in stone. Teachings get layered and widely outgrown. Deeper foundations not built in the homes. Voices not living now, setting the tone. Taking his law, 9 followers grown. Those who will question get left on their own. Told just accept what the elders condone. Patterns keep repeating, times clearly flown. Rising and falling the ways they have grown. Nothing was random, the seeds had been sown. Cycles keep turning and the harvest is wrong. Some start to see it and question the throne. Some keep defending when the proof has been shown. Nothing to argue, the cover's been blown. Just seeing it clear with no need to atone. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's 4th book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turn into lies. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's 4th book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turn into lies.
Ooh, wee, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's my jam there, the Lord's 4th book. Records get twisted. The meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied, boy. That's basically what we talking about today. All praises to the ever-present creator. The maker of suns, moons, and stars, that always was, is, and ever shall be. The mighty and great spirit, the mighty and great I am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. It's your brother Malaki Macabee, the megaton light bomb. Y'all see the topic, Pre-Nicene Christian Library. Yeah. We gonna talk about it today. I see y'all in the chat though. Y'all hit that thumbs up. Put us in the algorithm, man. You know we got enough hating going on out here. Put us in the algorithm. You understand? Put it right in the face of all the haters, jawjackers, and naysayers. Shout out to the haters, jawjackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Shout out to my brother Mayak in the building. Out here traversing the continental United States in that box truck, getting it done, my brother. What's the word? I love, light, balance, and all that good stuff in between to everybody in the chat, everybody worldwide. You understand? Credit gang, still cooking. Shout out to my brother Aki Abdiel, the mayor of the West Side, is in the building. My beloved brethren. You dig? Much love, Aki. You already know what time it is. Much love. You dig? Gotta stay sucker free out here. Ain't that right out? Everybody ain't solid, man. Everybody ain't solid. Shout out to the West Side Connect, my Cali brethren. Dreadful Cosmine in the building with the 99 at the end of it. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Bro, got that 99 at the end of that deal. Much love, Ak. To you and your tribe, you and your clan. You know, ain't nothing but love in this deal over here, boy. Love, light, balance, and all that good stuff in between. Shout out to the fam, man. Shout out to my brother BC. Naptown is in the house. Much love, Ak. Good to see y'all in the building. Shout out to my sister Yafa. Yafa in the building with that glow. I see you, sis, over there glowing. Yeah. Some time away did you good, huh? That what's up, sis. You're definitely glowing. Good to see you back in the midst of things. Right back popping. Right back like I never left. You feel me? Much love. Yeah. Got my brother Bishop X FG Keys. He all daisy, baby. Much love, my brother. And Almighty Creator continue to guide all y'all. Love, wisdom, discernment, and even confidence, boldness in this hour. Shout out to my sister Marlene in the building. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is in the building. Global Purpose. Much love, sister. Much love, light, and all that good stuff in between. Much love, my brother. SEAL Team 144. You know what, SEAL Team CGG, bruh. We might have to rename you the Delta Force. Create a gang Delta Force, man. I was looking at some over the Delta Force. I thought the Navy SEALs was top notch, boy. Boy, I seen some over the Delta Force yesterday. Man, them cats on a whole nother level. Yeah, the SEALs will get it done, but when you trip off the Delta Force, boy, them cats move like ninjas. I'm talking about, man, look, stop playing. I thought about you when I saw it. I said, you know what? We might have to upgrade my brother Steve Tillman out of DC. We might have to upgrade his name to Delta, create a gang Delta Force in this deal, boy. The Delta Force ain't playing no games. Had me with my jaw down, like, dang, who is these cats? I thought the Navy SEALs was the real deal. No. Y'all look up that Delta Force. That Delta Force is serious. That Delta Force is serious. Happy belated Soul Day, Star Day to my brother Fritz Foxwell is in the building. Y'all go and wish my brother a happy belated Star Day. Happy Star Day, my beloved brother. Much love, light, balance, and all that good stuff in between. And may the Almighty Creator continue to guide you, my brother. Bless you with many more. Grace you with many more. You feel me? Who else we got up in here? My brother Just Me Buzz Lightyear is in the building. What's the word, Ock? Caught the alert. Just me checking in. Creator is undefeated. May the Almighty Creator continue to guide you, Ock. Much love. Yeah. My brother Tillman. Hey, boy. When I saw how them cats was moving, bro, they moved. They ain't playing no games. I'm talking about in and out, 2 minutes tops. They in and out. I'm like, dang, who is these niggas jumping out of helicopters? And boy, I'm talking about they moving like ninjas. I was like, yeah. We might have to go ahead and rename him, create a gang Delta Force. You know what I mean? Much love. Shout out to my brother, the Minister of Wellness is in the building. My brother Nathaniel Jordan. Y'all go like, subscribe, share. You know what I mean? Support my brother dealing with his missionary initiatives out here. Getting it done. You know what I mean? Getting it done. And it starts with gathering the orphans. Building the Creator's kingdom on earth. There's many kingdoms in the heavens. But the building the Creator's kingdom on earth starts with gathering the orphans. And that's exactly what my brother's doing. You know what I mean? That's exactly what my brother's doing. And he definitely need all our support. So y'all go like, subscribe, share, support. Brother doing a very, very marvelous work. The latest footage he got uploaded is a food drive he did a plant-based food drive that he did last weekend that just passed. Ooh-wee. When I say in the slums of Kenya, man, it looked like a bomb hit that deal. Yeah. He got some drone footage from above. It looked like Beirut, Lebanon around that deal. It looked like a bomb hit that deal. And he right in the middle of the trenches, feeding thousands of orphans. Whole food, plant-based meals, no flesh. So salute this brother putting his life on the line. You dig? Much love. Salute. Shout out to my brother Gift of Yahuwah, creator only, all the way from South Africa in the building. We got the continent of Africa been tapping in on the in the chats lately. Ministers over in Kenya, East Africa. This brother right here is in South Africa. Much love to my brother, man. Much love. I see y'all in the building. Much love. I see Micah. Much love. Love, light, and all that good stuff in between. Please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Charge it to my head, not my heart. We gonna get it done today, man. Y'all know how it is. We don't come to tiptoe through the tulips. We don't come to Madi cuddle. You know what I mean? We don't kind of play any type of games with none of these false gods and deities. Remember, I'm tripping. If ain't nobody else tripping, I'm tripping. I gotta look, I'm tripping with all the false gods and deities, period. No matter where they are in it. You may not be tripping. You may be, your style may be a little more milk toast. More, can we all get along? I'm tripping. I'm tripping. You may not be. You dig? And that's okay, Everybody cut different. We gonna get into this today. I'm glad to see y'all in the building. Hey, you ain't lying though. You ain't lying, Dread. Them Delta Force move cracking. Woo! Man, I got reminded yesterday when I saw like a little documentary. It was something I was watching, either on Paramount or Amazon Prime or something, and it was talking about the difference between the Navy SEALs and the Delta Force, and they wasn't talking bad on the SEALs. They were like, the SEALs will get it done. SEALs will get it done. You know what I mean? But the Delta Force is a whole nother level, and then it showed them. I'm like, man, these cats was practically flying. I'm talking about jumping out of helicopters and moving. Man, yeah, these cats ain't playing. This is not nothing to play with. You know what I mean? Much love. We should train with one of them before. He a private contractor. And I bet. Man, look. So, I thought about you. I was like, you know what? We're going to have to name him Creative Gang Delta Force or something because it's serious. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother, Mr. Johnny from Omaha, Nebraska. What's the word, Ock? What's the word, my brother? And you know me, false god tripping, Creative Gang banging. Yes, sir. Let's get into some of this. Y'all already know how we get down. We don't come to tiptoe through tulips, mighty cuddle, sing nursery rhymes to you. No, we right at it. We get right to it. We got some Four Horsemen got something coming up. We got a team presentation coming up. It's about to shock the world, boy. Yeah, we gonna do it on the shout out to Killer Priest, Wu-Tang Clan in the building. Yeah, we gonna do it over on his platform. He reached out the other day. He been watching. Yeah. So we got something we about to do as a team. You dig? Yeah, and it's about to shake up the world, especially the so-called conscious community, because they real big on Kemet and Egypt, and everything's blackety black and starts with Egypt. You know what I mean? But Egypt ain't the first one to get this knowledge and understand it. I mean, so we gonna go ahead and put things where they ought to be. And when I tell y'all, once we do that, that's gonna make everybody from Jabari to Wethy. That's gonna make everybody, and look, and don't none of them get along no more. Reggie and Jabari are enemies now, right? But what we about to present on Killer Priest KP platform is gonna even make Reggie and Jabari get along. They gonna have to come together. So y'all should thank us. Your master teachers won't be enemies anymore. But wait till y'all see what we got low. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, bro. I already know y'all not playing, man. What y'all drinking on today? I'm drinking on my melon melody. Got about 3 different type of melons up in her. A little bit of ginger root in that deal. Not playing. Fire. Get yourself together. You know what I mean? We out here eating to live as well. False gods down, weapons down, and flesh down. It's time to live. All right, let's get into some of this. Y'all see, the past 2 videos. We've been going over this document right here. Describes corrupted Torah. The vegetarian Christianity Rome tried to erase. On the left, that's a rendition of James the Just or Yaakov Hazedek, the little biological brother of who Yahshua the Nazarene, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And on the right is like a rendition of Peter, K-Phi, Simon Peter. And as you see down here on the left, I don't see no flesh on that table, boy. You don't see no flesh on that table, boy. Nothing but living foods. That's what we here to, put out to the world to show the people what time it is. Me myself, I'm going on 6 years of not chewing on an animal. 6 years. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you for sure can do it. Cause I used to, boy, I'm trying to tell you, I used to tear some yard bird up. I ain't bragging about it. I'm just saying. So if somebody like me cannot go to Wingstop no more, you know what I mean, or any of the chicken spots, devour. I'm talking about devour the yard bird. If I could stop, and I'd stop cold turkey too. I wouldn't even, I don't know. Oh, let me stop in stages, and I'm like, nah, this ends now. It's time. It's time to move on to, it's time to move on to higher vibrations. It's time to stop. We dragging false gods up in the mountains. Better believe it. What's up with the ox? Selah Shalom. Selah Shalom. What's the word, Aki? Bro, I thought Selah, you must have, but Selah, I'm live, brother. Hold on, let me see. I keep calling me, huh? So my bro. What's going on? Let me chill. Listen, unless I can't be heard. Can I be heard, y'all? Let me see what's going on. The records get twisted. The meaning get disguised. Let me make sure I can be heard, man. He's calling me live. Would you say we dragging false gods up in the mountains? You better believe it. Let me see something real quick. What's up with God, man? The homeboy talking about. Okay. Okay. See live. Let me see something real quick. See live, my beloved brother. Hey man, I'm live right now, Aki. You already know what it is. We'll tap in after I get off this deal. But yeah. I just told everybody we got a bomb. We got a bomb about to drop. It's about to shake up the entire so-called conscious community. I get at me, I love. Yeah, that's Selah. Okay, we good. All right, cool. Yeah, man. So here, let's get into it. Y'all see what we dealing with today. Pain. Yeah, me myself, I've been out the flesh going on 6 years. Feel marvelous. You know what I mean? And this right here is a radical message, not because of any violence. You feel me? It's radical because the norm is warfare and not weapons down. The norm is flesh chewing. And, no harming animals or meat down. The norm is getting your kneecaps dusty and bowing to these false deities and being slaves to them. Instead of the norm being, hey, false gods down. So make no mistake about it. You're part of the most radical movement, you dig, in the galaxy. Make no mistake about it. And everybody mad, fumbling at the mouth. You dig? But we can care less. All right, Jeremiah 8:8. We're gonna start right with Bible. Let's start right with Bible since it's a problem. Everybody want to get mad and talk crazy. All right, we gonna go right where y'all stuck at then. Now you heard. Hold on. Let me turn that down. Yeah, I am sounding loud and clear, huh? I am sounding loud and clear. Mama Bear Judah in the building. Shalom. All right, so we're gonna start writing Bible since everybody, everybody's stuck there. Let's start there. Jeremiah 8:8. How do you say we are wise in the law or the Torah of the Lord or Yahuwah is with us? Lo, certainly in vain made he it. Certainly in vain made he it. What is the it? The it is the law or the Torah. And it says, made he it the pen of the scribes, those who write out the Torah and teach the Torah and interpret the Torah. The pen of the scribes is in vain. Now, y'all know sometimes it's hard to even understand that old Victorian English. What is all this vain? What does that mean, Malachi? Shout out to my brother Bezel, the Oilite in the building, A-Town, stand up. Shout out to Selah Shalom in the building, A-Town, stand up. Y'all make sure y'all go like, subscribe, share. Gang is outside. And when y'all get a whiff of this megaton light bomb we about to drop and hit the conscious community with this 4-man presentation we about to do. Hey, it's going to make all them aligned together. It's going to make Reggie, Jabari. It's probably going to make your boy who rolled his sleeve up, Akaket, or Ankh, the real black atheist from back in the day. It's going to make him, he rolled his sleeve up and took that jab. Yeah, he ain't been right since. It's gonna make him, it's gonna make all them who don't get along today come together. Yeah. You'll have to come outside and try to address what the gang is talking about. Let's get this Jeremiah 8:8 in the English Standard Version. In the English Standard Version. How can you say we are wise in the law of the Lord or the Torah of Yahuwah is with us? But behold, the lion pen of the scribes has made it, meaning the Torah, into a lie. Good night, boy. So what Jeremiah is saying is that the Torah that you're reading is compromised. The Torah that you're reading is compromised. You're licking your fingers. You're holding on to it with reverence. You know what I mean? You act like it's inerrant. There's no errors in it. And that if any errors are perceived, then it's a reading problem or a comprehending problem that you have. That's all you saying. You dig? Whenever we like, man, look at this character flaw right here. Bro, look at this contradiction. Here come a whole slew of defenders or apologists, apologetics, trying to convince you that what you're reading doesn't mean that. They'll never argue that, this does actually say, how can you say we are wise? In other words, they'll never argue with you about what you're reading. Like, you know how to read, right? Their whole point is that what you're reading doesn't mean what it says on paper. So, brother, you're taking it out of context, meaning you're reading it out of context. But I can't read anything out of context if it wasn't written out of context. See, we got to change the talking points here. If I'm reading something out of context, that means it's written out of context. I can't read what's not written down. Which makes this thing even worse. Which makes the argument more on our side. I can't read what's not written. So if I'm reading it out of context, by default, it's written out of context, which makes it even worse for you apologists trying to transform and come around and convince the world using your sorcery that, oh, brother, it really don't mean that, though. If you understand, I can't read anything out of context unless it's written out of context. Y'all drop a 10,000 in the chat. Let's make sure we being understood today, man. Let's make sure we being understood today. There is no reading it out of context if it wasn't written out of context. Good night, boy. What are we really saying? That's why you got people today claiming you really can't read you really can't read the Bible unless you are a Hebrew teacher. Unless you're a Greek teacher. Get the head. This is in English. And what you're going to find out is when you even go into the Hebrew or the Greek, it still say the same thing. That you're going to have to retranslate back into English. It say the same thing. You're hiding behind language or attempting to hide behind language. And we ain't going for none of that. We ain't going for none of that. You dig? There is no reading it out of context if it ain't written out of context. And if it's written out of context, that means you got a problem in Bible. That means the Torah is compromised. What is the Torah? Well, traditionally speaking, it's the first 5 books of your Bible, Genesis through Deuteronomy. In today's terminology and time, people tend to link the Torah or lump the Torah together with the entire Old Testament. You hear some people say Tanakh, which is really an acronym: Torah, prophets, and writings. Tanakh. But right here in one of the prophets in the Bible, one of the major prophets, Jeremiah, he's saying the lying pen of the scribes has made the Torah or the law into a lie. Into a lie. So what you hugging on with reverence and disowning your family over and ready to fight your religious wars over? Conjugating your verbs and taking Hebrew classes, and you wasting your time, man. Just look, it's the Bible. Just let it be what it is. What are you doing trying to change things? You not realizing if you in the spirit of changing things, you're admitting that this deal got flaws in it. Why you got to come around changing things? Oh, brother, it really don't mean that in the Hebrew. Oh, brother, you didn't conjugate your verb and parse, and you didn't exegete and eisegete and all this extra madness you apologists have come up with. All to make an apple and orange. All to make a square a circle. And look, I didn't say it. It's written down. That the Torah is compromised. Good night, boy. That's Jeremiah 7:22. That's Bible enough for you, ain't it? Jeremiah 7:22. For in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I did not speak to your fathers or command them concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. Jeremiah 7:22, English Standard Version. So one of the main lies in Bible, the Holy Bible, that's the title of it, is the blood offerings to the deity. And there's many of them, and there's many categories of them. The blood offerings to your deity, the burnt offerings, and the, sin offerings, and all these different offerings. One of the main problems, you dig, are the blood offerings that were going on around the clock 24/7 for thousands of years. On a normal day, twice a day. During a high holy day, forget about it. Forget about it. The temple looked like a murder scene. The temple looked like a murder scene on a normal day. You wake up on your normal day, sniff the Folgers, sniff your coffee, have you some meat and eggs, take you a stroll with little Aziel, and having to skip past the temple, boy, and hear all type of slaughtering and torturing going on. Don't let you get a glimpse of the garments of the priest that's out there in that courtyard performing these rites and ceremonies. Good night. That man got all type of blood on his garments. All types of blood on them garments. Man, oh man. A murder scene. And the person doing the murdering got blood-stained garments. Ooh-wee. Or it's talking about the other books. Man, I've heard it all. I've heard it all in my years of being, an active in the Israelite community. Front line with it. I've heard every piece of argument and excuse somebody can come up with to try to explain away, the horrendous nature of what's happening. Yeah. I done heard it all, seen it all, to be honest with you. You dig? So one of the main things that was not a part of the original, plan or administration or program of the Almighty is the blood offerings and sacrifices. And this is what Jeremiah is saying. There are many lies in Torah. Dang, and that right there make a so-called Israelite or a Zionist extremist pissed at you. But again, I wouldn't be able to read it out of context if it wasn't written out of context. You got to explain why that's in there. You're an apologist, right? Nah, I'm not an apologist. I critically think about everything that skip across my plate. And if it don't line up, it just don't line up. So we're going to get into this pre-Christian, pre-Nicene Christian literature. The Clementine Homilies. You know, some writings of who we call Peter the disciple. Some teachings of who we call Peter the disciple, Simon Peter. For those that's caught up in the Hebrew, you don't like to say Peter, nothing of Simon. Shimon Kepha, okay? You know, just so stuck on language. Utter madness. Utter madness. The Clementine Homilies, flesh eating, and animal sacrifice. Matter of fact, before we even hit that, let me go show y'all something. Let's go hit this Owaspy real quick. Owaspy agree that the so-called Torah is corrupted. Owaspy agree. You the one that's only in denial. So we go write the Bible and show that the Bible is saying that look, it's the Torah is compromised. What's going on, Owaspy? Let's see what Owaspy got to say about it. Let's see what Owaspy got to say about it then. Listen, y'all scared of this. The most feared book in the so-called spiritual realm is this Owaspy. Yeah. Somebody gonna be mad. It's a lot of Nazarene and Scene brothers that scared of Owaspy. They scared of this. Like, hold on, brother. Dang. We're gonna go to the Ark of Bond. We're gonna go to the Ark of Bond. Yeah, this right here. Chapter 20. All right, chapters 13 through 20 is the story of who we call Moses, the real Moses. All right. Let's get into this real quick. Hold on 1 second. All right, right here. Let's read this. Brother, please blow it up. I got you. Trust me. The Ark of Bond and Owaspy, right? And let's see if it agrees. Let's see if it agrees with what the Bible said about the lion pen of the scribes and how, they have written lies into your Torah. Let's see. Let's see if it agrees with later when we get into the pre-Christian or the pre-Nicene Christian literature. Let's see if it agrees. All of it agree. Let's see if you're ready to understand how it agrees. All right, so this is about the history of Moses and the Israelites in Egypt. Dealing with the O. All right, here we go right here. Bang. Bang. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody gonna be mad. All right, chapter 20, verse 17, Ark of Bond, Owaspy, body blow. Pharaoh scribes and recorders assembled in Kaona, and they appointed Phai, an Egyptian, to write the departure of the Israelites out of Egypt. And Phai wrote the account and called it the Exodus of the Hebrews. And it was recorded in the king's house of records. And copies of it were sent to the large cities, and they're recorded also. For such was the law of Egypt. Phai's record was afterward accepted by who? By who? Ezra. There he is right there. That's your man's right there, Ezra. And it's that which is known to this day as the first book of Exodus. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all some earliest known depiction of Ezra. Watch this. Of Ezra. Dora, Europa, synagogue. Look at your boy. Look at your mans. Look at your man. Let me show this. Everybody running around it. And this right here goes back to the 2nd century of the Common Era. This is the earliest known depiction of Ezra. Way before there was a Khazarian conversion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I make this big so y'all can see this. Full screen it. I mean, what is going on? Okay, let me share this tab. Bang. Let me pull this up for y'all. They think we playing. Yep. Ezra reads the law fresco from Dura Europa Synagogue, y'all, 250 CE of the Common Era. This is the earliest known depiction of your boy. This your man. There he go right there. Let me see if I can get closer. Hold on. Computer been over her tripping. Let's get a little closer. Let's get a little closer on your boy Ezra. This your man's right here. Click on the picture, boy. That's as far as it goes. Yeah. Oh. Man, what is y'all doing? I actually got this in the book. That's Ezra right there. And I know I can get closer than that. They tripping. Hold on. I gotta get closer than that. Y'all give me 1 second. This is the earliest depiction of your boy, Ezra. See if they're gonna let me do this real quick. Bang. Pinterest don't let me. Pinterest may let me get a little closer. Right there. There your boy is right there. Bang. That's your man in there. All right, that's your man's in them, Ezra. The so-called Jewish scribe or priest. Who came out of Babylon with the Torah. He holding the Torah in his hand. That right there proves that the Torah that you have today is not written by Moses. The earliest you got is Ezra, and this is the earliest depiction of Ezra going back to the 3rd century of the Common Era. And what he got in his hand, he got a scroll, a Torah scroll. Why? Because Ezra is the one responsible for writing out the Torah. Ezra is. It's not Moses. I know it says the first 5 books of the Bible, the first 5 books of Moses. Moses didn't write the Torah you had today. The Torah, any instructions that Moses ended up writing down are burnt and lost. That's why Ezra, when the so-called Jews came out of the Babylonian captivity, they didn't have a written record. Ezra had to refurbish it. Ezra came out of Babylon or slavery, and he was a officer of the Persian court. Ezra is the one that's responsible for the Torah today. It is not Moses. You didn't have a Torah when you was in Babylon. The earliest you got is Ezra. And you don't even have his, because according to the Apocrypha, he wrote out 204 books of the Torah. The earliest Old Testament on record today is actually the Greek Septuagint, which goes back to the 3rd century before the Common Era. The 300s, around Alexander the Greek and them, on down into the 200s. When the Ptolemies ruled Egypt. That's when your Greek Septuagint, and that's the oldest one you got. The oldest Old Testament in the earth today, available for public scrutiny, is the Greek Septuagint. It ain't even what Ezra had. And this right here is the earliest depiction of Ezra. So no, Moses did not write the Bible or the Torah that you have today. He didn't. You dig? And that's a little bit of work to show you that. A little bit of work to show you that. All right, let's get back to it. There your man's is right there, Ezra. Open toe sandals, naked ankles, That's your man's in them right there. All right, so we get on back to it. He don't look like he from the Congo nowhere for you blackety black folk. He don't look like he from the Congo nowhere. All right, let's get back to this. Bang. Back to Owaspi. Book of the Ark of Bond, chapter 20, verse 17. This is history of Moses and the Israelites in Egypt. And for y'all to be like, oh, Owaspi plagiarized Bible. This history ain't in the Bible nowhere. What you mean? What you mean? Pharaoh's scribes and recorders assembled in Caon, and they appointed Phaya, an Egyptian, to write the departure of the Israelites out of Egypt. Phaya wrote the account and called it the Exodus of the Hebrews. And it was recorded in the king's house of records, and copies of it were sent to the large cities, and they're recorded also. For such was the law of Egypt. Phaya's record was afterward accepted by who? Ezra. I just showed y'all Ezra. Phaya's record was afterward accepted by Ezra, and is that which is known to this day as the first book of Exodus. Good night, boy. Good night. The book of Genesis, as it stood in the Egyptian records, was written by Achaboth and Duram and Hazed, and was the substance from which Ezra copied it. Look at this. Even the Apocrypha tell you Ezra is the one responsible for the Bible you have. It didn't give you a different version of the story. It tell you that he drank a cup of fire water and the Holy Ghost came into him. But nonetheless, it's letting you know that the Bible or the Torah that you have today is a product of Ezra. Ezra copied it through his scribes. Remember, we talking about the lion pen of the scribes, right? The book of Genesis, as it stood in the Egyptian records, was written by Achaboth and Duram and Hazed, and was the substance from which Ezra copied it through his scribes. And we talking about the lion pen. Didn't Jeremiah say the lion pen of the scribes made it into a lie? How you say we wise, and how you say you wise and you got the Torah of the Lord or the Torah of Yahuwah? But behold, the lion pen of the scribes have made it into a lie. The book of Genesis, as it stood in the Egyptian records, was written by Achaboth. We got names of the scribes now. What you mealy mouth midgets talking about? Well, who were the scribes? And what were their names? The book of Genesis, as it stood in the Egyptian records, was written by Achaboth and Duram and Hazed, and was the substance from which Ezra copied it through who? His scribes. Jeremiah already told you is a problem with the scribes, even as it is to this day. The inspiration of Genesis was from the god Osiris. Good night. Do y'all need to see who this guy is? The inspiration of Genesis was from the god Osiris the False and his emissaries, chief of whom were Utaba or Yoruba. For y'all you that be into the Yoruba madness. Chief of whom were Utaba in Egypt, who were angel servants to Osiris. And so far as the records now stand, the spirit of both books, Genesis and Exodus, was the Egyptian version of the whole subject. Good night, boy. Good night. Do you need to see who Osiris the False is? Osiris the False. All you gotta do is type in Osiris, Judgment Hall of Mayat image. Let's go show you the green god, Osiris. Jeremiah already told you that, look, you compromise if you thinking you got the law or the Torah of the creator. You compromise. Lion pen of the scribes have made the Torah or the law in vain. They made that into a lie, Jack. Why is Osiris green? There he is right there. This sloped-headed monstrosity named Osiris. And don't nobody even worship these gods no more. The main gods in the earth today is Jesus Christ, Yahweh, Allah, and Buddha. Those are the main false, and Brahma and all them. Them the main false deities. These false gods been got put down. They got put down by the false gods that you worship today. Yeah. Nobody worship Osiris and Bess and what the hell, Tefnut and Geb, and nobody worship none of these sloped-headed monstrosities anymore. But you got to read Owaspy to understand when these gods got put down. The worship of these gods. Once you a false god and you lose worship, you know what I mean? You lose power and authority amongst man. That's it. So you got one set of false gods warring with another set of false gods. That's why don't nobody worship Isis and Osiris and Horus, and don't nobody worship them anymore. They're not being worshipped. You dig? And that's why you got melon head monstrosities like Jabari and them around here telling you that, look, they are not literal. They're merely concepts. I bet, buddy. You know why? Because your gods have been destroyed. Yeah, your false gods been put down. So now the argument amongst you so-called Cometians and Egyptian priests is, oh, they're not literal. Silly. Yeah. You want to know the history on why these gods ain't worshiped no more? You got to get you an Owaspy. But notice Osiris is green. And he has an elongated skull. Y'all remember the cone heads back in the day? With Dan Aykroyd and all them? Yeah. Osiris is a sloped-headed monstrosity. He has the same headpiece on that Baal has on. Look at any images of Baal. He's another sloped-headed monstrosity. But you got to get into Owaspy to understand that Baal and Osiris were on the same team. Yeah, they weren't the same crown. They were the same exact crown. Same sloped heads. Huh? Y'all gonna tap in with the gang one of these days. So notice he's green. He has a sloped head, elongated skull, and he's in spandex, leggings. Yeah. These are your gods, your deities. And don't nobody even worship this monstrosity anymore. You running around here with ankhs all on your chest and tattooed all on your body, and don't nobody worship the gods of Egypt, the ancient gods of Egypt anymore. Yeah, they've been put out the earth. Kingdom stripped. Let's get back to it. The book of Genesis. Let me share this tab. We back in Owaspy, Book of Bond. Book of the Ark of Bond. What you say, Dread? Melon head monstrosity? Yeah, that's wild work, ain't it? But then we got videos of Jabari worshiping his deities and gods. Y'all, please don't make me show it. Please, we'll be in here laughing so hard. You have to go to the bathroom after that. Do I need to show Jabari actually worshiping the gods of Egypt? Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all really want to see that. If not, I'm gonna keep it pushing. It's, oh my God, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Would you say Dread show? Man, let me pull this up. Dread say show it, man. Oh my God, man. That's why I can't take these Negroes serious, man. I cannot. I refuse to take you serious. I just can't, man. I think C-Lock. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to C-Lock channel. C-Lock got your boy. Well, hold on, dog. Let's go to, let me see, Jabari. What is his channel? The Shrine of Mayat or some Shrine of Ma'at. Jabari. Asazi. Worships. What? Egyptian gods or something. I don't know. Ceremony. Oh my God, man. I can't even, man. This, oh my, I couldn't, I can't take these guys serious. I just can't, man. Oh my God. I forgot the name of the name of the ritual he calls this thing. Man, it was I couldn't believe it. I seen this and was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy here? I want to see. I think C-Lot got like a sound bite of dude. I want to actually show y'all this. This is oh my God, man. Let me see if we can. Ah, here he goes. Is this right? Is this here right here? Good communicating. What was the name of that ritual, man? If y'all know the name of the ritual, I probably can find it like that. Oh man, I had it too, boy. I had it back in the day, boy. We laughed so hard at this. I couldn't believe dude was on, man. It was hilarious. Boy, he was and shoo. God, bruh. I might not be able to find it this time, y'all. I may be pressed for time. Let me see. I see something on her with him and one of his, I guess it was his ex-wife or something. Is this it? I don't think this is it. Let me see. Your boy.
So the feed is in the page on Facebook, right? And then John asked. And that's
here it is.
as we recognize our help.
Here it is. Oh my God, man. This ain't the one I was talking about, but this is the one. God, I can't take these guys serious anymore. Hey, C-Line, hold on, man. Hold on. Is this the actual? Yeah, that's yours. Yeah, that's yours right there. I want to show his actual. Okay, let's share this. Good night, man. All right, here we go, y'all. Oh my God, this nigga Jabari is played out.
Please stand for us to do the opening of the way.
Yeah, that's the name of opening of the way ceremony. Jabari Osaze. Jabari Osaze. Opening of the way ceremony. This is crazy. Here it is. Boy, we got receipts. Now look at this, y'all. Oh my God, I cannot take these guys serious ever again in life. I refuse to. Woo! Boy, she looked quoted and devoted too, boy. Oh my God, bruh. Woo. I mean, I'm false God tripping forever. I'm nobody got to say. You can try to get along with this madness if you want. Look how serious her face is. I think Jabari didn't got a divorce, man. He divorced her right after he debated Creator Game. When he came out against us, the divorce went down in breakneck speed. Yeah. Apostle woke up, slapped the wig off his woman's face. It's a lot when your boy Yara changed his name to the Black Sage. JJ dropped his flag. He's Mandinka Mali now, a damn African priest. And all in my inbox trying to get me to interview with him. I'm not about to go over there and interview with you. He done got ran out the Lions Den. It was a lot of blowback that came from debating the gang, man. Like he lost his wife. Your boy so-called apostle woke up and slapped his woman. He readily admitted this. Yeah, your boy Elder Yara changed his name to the Black Sage. It got ugly. But this right here is Jabari. For y'all that don't know, you know he's a so-called HOK House of Consciousness champion, and he didn't got destroyed by us. I'm talking about destroy. We parked him in handicap. All right, now watch this. Watch this. This is a. And mind you, these gods ain't even being worshipped no more. They have no power or authority in this earth at all. Right now, he calls himself a Kemetic priest, but he argues that his gods are not literal. So nobody will ever take you serious. But if they're not literal, Jabari, who are you praying to right here? Y'all, you might want to sit down for this one. Boy, boy, look at the face of the devotee. Woo. But Jabari, boy, for you to claim today that the gods and natural rules are not literal, boy, what was this look on your face? This is a look of pure devotion. This is a look of pure devotion, man. Woo. Boy, good night, boy. Boy, this is amazing. Boy, that you still even have this online, boy. This is embarrassing. What is that? What is all that? Did y'all hear that light choke? What was that? Did you choke on your K? What was that?
Netrak in bed het. Nuke in bed.
Netrak in bed het. A goddess. Boy. Hold on.
Netrak happy.
Nuke happy.
Happy is this damn Babylonian ape-looking god right here. Ah, my God, man. Y'all gotta leave me alone with all this. And y'all got the unmitigated gall to come against Creator Game. What the hell are y'all doing? None of these are the Creator at all. And everybody knows it. Everybody know it. Huh? That's the god Happy. Oh my God.
Happy. Twelve winter. Netrak serket. Nuke serket.
Netrak kebsenuf.
Nuke keb.
Look like the damn penguin off Batman. Y'all, these are their deities. I'm gonna let it play, man. Oh, I was trying to begin to let it play through. Beth will say, "Bally, run it through, man." I'm just gonna let it play, man. God.
Netrak in bed het. Nuke in bed het.
Netrak happy.
Nuke happy. 12 winter. Netrak serket. Nuke serket.
Netrak kebsenuf.
Nuke kebsenuf. 12 winter. Netrak ast.
Nuke
ast.
Netrak amset.
Nuke amset. 12 winter. Netrak neat. Nuke neat.
Netrak dwamotef.
Nuke dwamotef. 12 winter. Netrak newt. Nuke newt.
Netrak geb.
Nuke.
Oh, that's Nut and Gab. Oh my God, man! And Gab got his damn willy out. Oh my God, man. See, I can't take you guys serious.
Geb, Twau Inter.
Anetrok. Shoo.
Boy, that boy sound like somebody kicked him in his jibs. Boy, you sound you got kicked in your nuts. Top of some shit. Oh my God, man.
Anetrok. Shoo.
Nuke,
Shoo.
shoe,
What?
shoe,
What?
shoe, shoe.
Oh my God.
Anetrak, Tefnut. Nuke, Tefnut.
The Tef nut. Little Tef nut.
Tefnut. 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 Nuke, Tefnut.
Tefnut.
Anetrak, Pau Interu. Nuke, Pau Interu. Anetrak, Unbu Interu. Nuke, Unbu Interu. Twau Inter. Twau Inter.
Boy.
So we just did the opening of the way. We did it a little bit unusually because
The opening of the way. Jabari, if you don't go sit down somewhere. If you don't go sit down somewhere, boy, you will be a mockery from her to kingdom come. The nerve of you to even open up your mouth and speak against anybody's spiritual system that's going on. Boy, you is bound by a whole bunch of jackal looking deities. None of them are the creator. Oh my God, man. I just wanted to show y'all that man, oh man. The deities. Yeah, the deities. Boy, let's get back to the Ark of Bond, OSB. Man. Y'all see the title. Pre-Nicene Christian Library. And we're going to get into it today. We start out with Jeremiah 8:8, showing that, the lying pen of the scribes have made your Torah into a lie. Huh? We go to OSB to see if it agrees. Yes, it agrees. Look at this. Look at this. Let's go back to verse 17. Book of Ark of Bond, OSB, chapter 20, verse 17. Look what it says. It says, Pharaoh's scribes, when we talking about the lying pen of the scribes, and made it into a lie. Pharaoh's scribes and recorders assembled in Kaona, and they appointed Phayah, an Egyptian, to write the departure of the Israelites out of Egypt. And Phayah wrote the account and called it the Exodus of the Hebrews. And it was recorded in the king's house of records, and copies of it were sent to the Lord's cities, and there recorded also. For such was the law of Egypt. Phayah's record was afterward accepted by who? Ezra. That's Ezra in the Bible. Afterward accepted by Ezra, and is that which is known to this day as the first book of Exodus. The book of Genesis, as it stood in the Egyptian records, was written by, you want to know the name of these scribes? Was written by Achaboth and Duram and Azed. It was the substance from which Ezra copied it through his scribes. Really? Even as it is to this day. The inspiration of Genesis was from the god Osiris the False. We showed you him. Already. That green sloped-headed monstrosity. One of the chief deities in Egypt. And his emissaries, chief of whom were Yataba or Yoruba, and Egypt, who were angel emissaries or angel servants to Osiris. And so far as the records now stand, the spirit of both books, Genesis and Exodus, was the Egyptian records of the whole subject. Good night, boy. Look at this. Verse 20. Verse 21. Watch this. Look at this right here. Good night. And behold, it came to pass that the records were what? Worthless. And to make matters worse, the records were so voluminous, meaning so large, being more than 6,000 books that the scribes of Ezra, the lion pen of the scribes, have made into a lie, that the scribes of Ezra could make neither head nor tail of them. Nevertheless, they were all written in the first place, not by the Israelites, but by their enemies. Or even so, the testimony of the miracles, is none the weaker. Good night. Thus ends the history of Moses' deliverance of the faithless out of Egypt. Salute. Let's get back to it. Ooh-wee, somebody mad today. Somebody is mad today, boy. Let's get back to it. All right, so we already see that Jeremiah is already saying that the Torah is corrupted. The Torah got a problem in it. We already see this. Right? So even if you don't want to accept what Bible is saying, or the pre-Christian or the pre-Nicene Christian literature, such as the Homilies and the Gospel of the Holy 12, you got a problem in Bible. The Bible says, how can you say we are wise and the Torah of Yahuwah, the law of the Lord, is with us? But behold, the lion pen of the scribes have made it, or the Torah or the law, into a lie. Dang. One of the lies is the burnt offerings and the sacrifices. For in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I did not speak to your fathers or command them concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. We're going to go into the Clementine Homilies next. Or the sermons of Peter. Look what it say right there. Pre-Nicene Christian literature. So this is before your Nicene era, and your Nicene council and your 21 ecumenical councils that had to do with declaring what was canon and what was heretical. These writings were around before then, which means that your so-called leaders and organizers of all your councils that form Christianity, right, and had to do with bringing your Bible together and declaring what was New Testament, what was Old Testament, what was considered canon, and what was considered heretical. That these writings were around before that, and they knew about it. Ooh-wee. Somebody mad. But you'll be all right, though. And stick around. All right. Clementine Homilies, flesh eating and animal sacrifice. Homily 2, chapter by chapter summary. Homily 2, chapter 38. Corruption of the Torah. Now, this is what Peter's teaching 2,000 years ago. That the Torah is corrupted. But before Peter, you got Jeremiah saying it's corrupted. And then, we got the new revelation of Waspy saying the same thing, but really going deeper into detail. It's naming the scribes. And it's letting you know that that's not Moses' right. Moses didn't write what you have today. Which means you're reading something where the author is anonymous. It's a pseudonym. They slap Moses' name on it. And we gonna tell you it's Ezra and his scribes and all that, you dig, but you know what I mean? Moses' name is on it, but the one that wrote it wasn't Moses. So that means Moses is a pseudonym for whoever wrote it. But it wasn't the man Moses himself. If y'all understand that, give me 8,000 in chat. Look what Peter was teaching 2,000 years ago. And these teachings that Peter was teaching, he got from Yahshua the Nazarene. What was he teaching concerning the corruption of the Torah? Direct teaching. Peter says that Moses originally delivered the Torah with its proper explanations to 70 chosen elders. Later, however, false statements contrary to God were added to the written scriptures. Look at that. So he's agreeing with what's written in Jeremiah 8 and 8. The scriptures or your Torah, your Bible, what you know is the Old Testament today. The scriptures have had joined to them many falsehoods against God or Elohim. Many. He ain't say a few. He ain't say a sprinkling, a smidgen. He say there are many lies. A falsehood is a lie. The scriptures have had joined to them many falsehoods, many lies against Elohim. the Almighty. We're not making none of this up, right? You are the one that's in denial. You in denial. Number you believe the Bible from cover to cover. Okay, well, you believe in the many lies and falsehoods in it as well. That's what you believe. Huh? And there's so many people that are in, like, denial right now. It's crazy. The additions, the many falsehoods are attributed to the work of the evil one. The presence of these false passages also function as a test. Righteous readers will refuse to believe anything blasphemous or morally unworthy of the Almighty. Look at that. Refuse to believe it. See? We ain't the ones putting a false charge on the Creator. The Creator is all powerful, not weak. The Creator knows all and is not ignorant in anything. The Creator is unseen, not in the form and figure of any man, woman, angel, or animal. The Creator is ever present, meaning fill all space and place at the same time, and not localized, sitting in a chair somewhere in the earth. Like I'm sitting in a chair right now. You saying the Creator right now is in the heaven, sitting on his throne, and Jesus at his right hand. Well, that means he ain't ever present. Ever present means you feel all space and place at the same time. No, his behind is present in that chair he's sitting in or sitting on. That's what's present. His ass is present on that throne he's sitting on. But he's not ever present. Feel all space and place. You have an example of that. You have an example of what's ever present and yet unseen, and it's called oxygen. Yeah. You can go to the Congo, you can go to Nova Scotia, you can go to Latin America, you can go to Antarctica. Anywhere on this earth, oxygen is ever present and it's unseen. You can see the effects of oxygen or wind. You can see the effects of it, but you haven't seen oxygen. You don't know what oxygen look like. You understand what I'm saying? So what is something that you have objectively that you deal with on the regular that you pull through your nostrils and fill your lungs up with? It's called air, oxygen. That's one example. That's a close example you got in this earth of something being ever present and yet unseen. See? So we're not the ones putting a false charge on the Almighty. Almighty is about love, life, and liberty to all without the sacrifice of any. So the Almighty is about love, not hate, peace, not war. Without the sacrifice, without the bloodshed of any. See, we're not the ones putting a false charge on the Almighty Creator. That's y'all. Somebody jealous and vindictive, and he hate folk and can't wait to put folk in slavery. And yeah, that's y'all. Y'all the ones running with that. The additions are attributed to the work of the evil one. The presence of these false passages also functions as a test. Righteous readers will refuse to believe anything blasphemous or morally unworthy of the Almighty. Facts. Even if it's true, I die before I believe that. See, you're not ready to take it there. What did Isaiah say in Isaiah chapter 6? I have seen with my own eyes the Lord Almighty sitting on his throne. Isaiah said he saw him. Daniel said he saw him. In Revelation he saw him sitting on a throne. Literally. Yeah, you can't get that off over here. Acting like, that's what the apologists do. Oh, it's not literal. It's not physical. It's spiritual. Yeah, you better hope it is. But meanwhile, these men say they saw with their own eyes God sitting on the throne and Jesus sitting at his right hand. I know. Try to explain it away. Try to make an apple and orange. It don't work. Plain English meaning. Peter is saying Moses' original revelation was pure. Facts. It was initially preserved through authorized teachers and oral interpretation. Exactly. The written Torah did not remain completely pure. Facts. Facts. You see that? Stories portraying God as immoral, ignorant, cruel, deceptive, bloodthirsty, or changeable were later additions. The Bible's corrupted. Yeah, the Bible's corrupted. It's a lot going on with Bible, man. It's a lot. A person must not accept a statement merely because it appears in a written religious book. We don't care if it's written in the phone book, the newspaper. If it goes against the character of the Almighty, we look at it with a jaundiced eye. If it goes against the moral character and authority of the Almighty, if it takes away from his omnipotence, his foreknowledge, if it takes away from him being ever present or omnipresent, if it takes away from creator being unseen, we question that. The hell is that? That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. The Bible was written against itself. The moral character of God is the standard. If you don't know the character of the creator, you're in danger reading the Bible. Because you don't know 1 minute God's jealous, 1 minute, the smell of a sweet smelling savor, dead flesh and chopped off organs and chopped up heads and blood, it smell good to him. The next moment he's all loving and benevolent, and you don't know what the hell to think. 1 minute all nations can be saved and enjoy in the goodness of God. The next second, you can make slaves of the other nations. They can be your slaves forever. Yeah. You see, what's written down produces your God as a schizophrenic. The moral character of God is the standard by which a passage must be judged. This is the foundation of the Clementine doctrine, commonly called the false pericope theory. Genuine revelation and later corruption are mixed together in the written scriptures. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night. Nah, Key, you ain't late. You always on time. You know what time it is. Homily 2, chapter 40, preliminary instruction, direct teaching. Peter gives Clement the governing rule. Listen close. Everything that is spoken or written against the Almighty is false. That's what we stand on. That's what we stand on. What you mean your God is jealous and jealous is his name? Make that spiritual. Jealousy is a weak emotion. Jealousy is a carnal emotion. And that means there's some competition around. There ain't no competition when it comes to the Almighty. Who can compare or compete with the Almighty? Who? And if it ain't no competition, what the hell is he jealous about? You got to deal with that. Make an apple and orange. Oh, brother, it don't mean he's jealous. It just means he's zealous. Oh, righteous anger. He's angry now. He's off his meds. You ain't gave him his blood in a minute. Knows what he's saying. Everything that is spoken or written against the Almighty is false. He explains that statements portraying the one good creator as evil can cause ignorant readers to become alienated from the Almighty. Look at that. Look at that. Statements portraying the one good creator as evil can cause ignorant readers, such as you apologists, become alienated from the Almighty. If you don't know what you're reading, you better get up out of there, boy. You better get up out of there. If you don't know the character of the Creator, you might want to step away from navigating the murky waters of the Bible because you're gonna be confused. 1 minute God so loved the world, the next minute I love Jacob and I hate Esau, and made his mountains and his heritage waste and a desolation. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people in whom I have indignation forever. What you gonna say about that? Oh, brother, that's just because of what Esau did. No, not according to your beloved Apostle Paul. Romans 9 and 11. For the children not being even born and having not done any good or evil, that the purpose of God might stand according to election. It is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Esau was born to be hated by your God. He hadn't even been born yet. He hadn't even done any good or evil. And God marked him as hated. The people in whom I have indignation forever, the border of wickedness. You can't even say, oh, it's because of what Esau did. What did he do? He the one got tricked out of his birthright and his heritage. And his inheritance, should I say. He the one that got tricked out of his birthright and his inheritance. He ain't what he do. Oh, he was born. That's what happened. The children being not yet born. Read it and weep. Romans 9 and 11. And hadn't done any good or evil, that the purpose of God, your God, might stand according to election. It is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. That's Malachi chapter 1, 1 through 6, and Romans chapter 9, 11 through 13. Read them and weep. Plain English meaning. Peter's rule is not simply believe every sentence in the Bible. Exactly. You better not. Everything written in the Bible is not right. I know some of y'all got your, your daily bread packets and trying to find all the inspirational quotes you can find, but you conveniently dodge all this evil stuff that's attributed to the deity. You don't even bring that up as if it ain't even in there. Look what Imam say. How can you hate someone? How can you hate someone before they are born? And don't forget, the one that's doing the hating is the one who created them. He ain't do nothing but pour oxygen through his nostrils and got tricked out of his birthright and his inheritance and was angry for a little taste. But then when he finally met back up with Jacob, they was cool. All right, man, whatever. Whatever, man. You see? He ain't even do what did Esau do to Jacob? Okay, what did Jacob do to Esau? Yeah, he tricked him. He robbed him. Stole his birthright and his inheritance. And for that, he's hated by his God. Good night, boy. Good night. What you say, Imam? That is a sadistic personality. And Imam, congratulations on your new dwelling place. I seen that. Congratulations on your new dwelling place, Imam. You deserve that. BC said, a God that hates his own creation hates himself. Good night, boy. What the hell is really going on around here? Peter's rule is not simply believe every sentence in the Bible. His rule is God is perfectly good. That's what we saying. The Almighty is perfectly good. Therefore, any passage making God evil cannot accurately describe the Almighty. What's wrong with that? A written statement does not become morally true simply because it is ancient. Yeah, because it's written in the Bible somewhere. The reader must know God's character before interpreting scripture. Yeah, you got to know the character of the Almighty disciple Eli. Now, look, here's a perfect example. Look, see, it's time to make an apple and orange now. Time to make an apple and orange. What you say? Meaning Esau was not loved as much or blessed as much. Stop it! And they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people in whom I have indignation forever. Go over to the book of Obadiah. And there should not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. If you don't go sit down somewhere with all that, man, you're not dealing with folk that just picked Bible up yesterday. I've been in this deal over 2 decades. And I'm a young man. I know all your arguments. I know exactly where you're going to go and what you're going to say. No, it don't. Look. You can try to make it seem, oh, this is a Hebrew idiom. I done heard that before. Oh, this means to love less. Why the hell you don't love all your children the same? I do. I don't love like favor one of my children over the other. I love all my short leggers the same. Huh? Ain't you learned anything by now? You having favorites cause all types of injustices to happen. Huh? Religious wars are fought to this day because he loved Jacob and hated Esau. Huh? Hospitals of children are being bombed to this day by the state of Israel because, oh, they're Amalek, which is the grandson of Esau. Stop it. You're in denial, disciple or student Eli or Eli. You're in denial. You're in denial. Stop it. Look, Jacob had a favorite son named Joseph. What happened to Joseph? His brother sold his ass into slavery. Cain and Abel. Jacob and Esau. Ain't you learned by now that having favorites is very, very dangerous? Like you say, Key, every child is a child of the flesh. How the hell they get her? Loin warfare. Yeah. Pelvises collide in mid-air. Everyone is children of the flesh. Genius. How the hell else you get her? Somebody got horny. God, man. Okay. Okay. Yeah. God is perfectly good. Therefore, any passage making God evil cannot accurately describe God. A written statement does not become morally true simply because it is ancient. The reader must know God's character before interpreting Scripture. For Peter, theology and morality control interpretation. Look at this. Stop it. Everybody pulling the earth through their nostrils is a child of the flesh. Stop it. Let's jump down. Right here. Homily 2, chapter 42. Easy work. Easy work. Hey, Key, tell my little nephew, tell my nephew happy Star Day. That little joker 6. Young Danielle. You know, your nephew Jeremiah be 6 in a couple months. They was born right behind each other. It's crazy. Tell the joker happy soul day. Homily 2, chapter 42. Right notions or right understanding of the Almighty is essential to holiness. And I mean, you got to have the right thoughts about who you calling God in your mind. You can't just tiptoe through the tulips and be thinking God is all evil in one breath and righteous in the next. No, you're not going to understand what's going on. It's either all or nothing over this way. Right? Direct teaching. Peter argues that false ideas about God lead to false moral behavior. If people believe God possesses moral defects, they may excuse the same defects in themselves. Have we not seen that? Have we not seen people in the name of God drown their babies in bathtubs and say that God is the one that told them to do it? Huh? Oh, well, you know, they was listening to the wrong spirit. Well, that means Abraham was listening to the wrong spirit when he was going to offer up Isaac as a burnt offering. Wasn't Abraham about to chop Isaac's head off? Offer him up as a burnt offering, slit his throat, cut his organs out? Wasn't he about to do that until he was stopped? What about Jephthah, the judge in Judges 11, after he went and killed 20 cities of the Ammonites? Huh? And left thousands, if not millions, of orphans and widows. What did he do when his daughter greeted him when he came back from slaughtering all these folk? He offered her up as a burnt offering to the Lord. And the Spirit of the Lord was on him, meaning the Holy Spirit was on him when he made that vow. Huh? So if you're going to say Andrea Yates, who drowned her babies in the bathtub, wasn't listening to the right spirit when she did that, because it's not of God, then the same spirit that tempted Abraham to offer up Isaac as a burnt offering, and the same spirit that inspired Jephthah to make the vow to offer up his daughter as the burnt offering is the wrong spirit too. Can't have it both ways. Either it's right or it's wrong, genius. Shout out to Nazir Israel. What's the word? What's the word? That's what's up, man. That's what's up, bro. Let me put you up on the screen right here. Nazir Israel say, shout out to the Creator gang. I left straightway and found my tribe. Good. All praises to the Creator. I'm glad you left that warmongering demonic devil named Pastor Dow. Yeah, get the hell away from him. Quickly. Yeah, get the hell away from him, boy. And then he be doing his chicken slaughtering and he be out on the compound shooting 50 cows. Can't wait to spill some blood. Yeah, get the hell away from him fast. Good night. So, hey, brother, welcome. Welcome home, brother. You know what I mean? Welcome home, Ike. You know what I mean? And any questions you got, man, don't hesitate to ask. And tap in with your bros, man. You got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters in this chat right here that'll chop it up with you. You know what I mean? And look, I straight sit there with you till you get the understanding you need, brother. So salute. I'm glad you got away from that damn demonic ass warmongering maniac. Pastor Dow. And he ain't doing nothing but imitating the deity of the Bible. That's it. He acting like that because it's in Bible. That's it. That's it. So shout out to the brother Nazir Israel, Nazir_Israel. Y'all make sure y'all reach out to this brother. You know what I mean? Pour your love on him. And bro, welcome home, brother. You know what I mean? We roll with the Almighty Creator over this way. That's why we create a gang. Weapons down, flesh down, false gods down. Shout out to the brother Nazir Israel, man. Shout out to the brother. Oh my God. Shout out to my brother Jericho. Soul Bender 88 is in the building. What's the word out? Much love, much love, much love. Let's get back to it. All right. Direct teaching. Peter argues that false ideas about God lead to false moral behavior. If people believe God possesses moral defects, they may excuse the same defects in themselves, such as baby killing. You see? And again, you're going to say she was listening to the wrong spirit. Well, so the hell was Abraham then. And so is Jephthah in the Bible. My brother says killing is satanic. You don't even need the credit. Exactly. You already know it's wrong. Your children know it's wrong. Plain English meaning people imitate the God they worship. People imitate the God they worship. Facts. If they believe that God lies, murders, envy, steals, deceives, changes his mind, favors wicked people, or demands violence, they may conclude that these acts are acceptable. Therefore, a corrupt picture of God produces corrupt worshipers. Correct theology is necessary for righteous living. You see? If y'all understand that correct theology is necessary for righteous living, and that a corrupt picture of the Almighty produces corrupt worshipers, if y'all understand that and that resonates with you, drop a 4,000 in the chat, man. Drop a 4,000 in the chat. Homily 2, chapter 43. And these are the ancient Nazarene teachings of Peter from 2,000 years ago, carving Torah up. Like, oh, nah, bro. There's all types of madness going on up in there. You better not accept everything just because it's written in the Bible. We know you can read. Oh, brother, it's saying 5 Thessalonians, chapter 100, verse 50, thou shalt lay with greased up midgets and have your way with them. If that was in the Bible, You'll have a whole bunch of lust-filled, inflame-lowing Negroes going to have their way with greased-up midgets and laying with greased-up midgets just because it's in the Bible. See? Book idolatry. People worship the Bible today. Shout out to my brother, the minister of wellness. He say this all the time. Y'all talk all this mess about the ancient cultures that worshiped wood and stones, stock and trees. But what are you doing today? You're worshiping a book that's, you know what I mean? And books are made out of what? Paper. And paper is made out of what? Wood. You're worshiping wood with ink on it. You're no different. You're no less, no more of an idolater or an idolater than those who were humping on trees. Those who were like we just seen Jabari and neck dress shoe. You're no more or less an idolater or an idolater than somebody who was worshiping a damn stone or a tree. Why? Because you worship the Bible. You worship the Bible. Just because it's written in there, you just going, if it's in the Bible, you better watch out. You better watch out because everybody that's a devotee gonna stand up and do it. If it said lay with greased up midgets and have your way with them, to consecrate yourselves to your God as a what? As a means of atonement, everybody gonna do it. Everybody gonna do it. You see, the problem is book worship. And you wouldn't know nothing about the God of Israel, any type of deity of God, unless it was in the Bible. I must have said something wrong. Greased up midgets, Ema. Hey, Key, I'm telling you, if it's look, we in a dangerous place, man. When indoctrination overrides common sense, and common sense, y'all, is the voice of your creator that you've been had since you've been born. When indoctrination overrides common sense, we in a bad state as humanity. As humanity, we in a bad position, man. Indoctrination overrides common sense these days. If it's in the Bible, if there was a commandment to lay with greased up midgets and have your way with them to tap into the Holy Spirit and to consecrate yourself to God as a means of atonement, everybody that calls themselves a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite will be having their way and laying with greased up midgets. Yes. And y'all know I'm not lying. Homily 2, chapter 43. Argument from the divine attributes, direct teaching. Peter asks a succession of moral questions. If God lies, who is truthful? If God is ignorant, who has foreknowledge? If God envies, who is above jealousy? If God hardens people's hearts, who makes them wise? If God blinds and deafens, who gives sight and hearing? If God steals, who administers justice? If God does evil, who produces goodness? Plain English meaning. Peter is using a reductio ad absurdum argument. He follows an idea to his unreasonable conclusion. God is the source of truth. Facts. The Almighty is the source of truth, wisdom, justice, sight, goodness, and moral order. Therefore, Peter argues the Almighty cannot simultaneously be the ultimate source of lying, ignorance, injustice, blindness, and evil. That makes sense. You ain't heard nothing evil yet. You ain't heard no seances to the damn devil, no blood curdling, no head chopping, no organ cutting. You heard none of that shit. Peter's saying, like, look, man, if it speak evil, if they putting a false charge on the Almighty, it's a lie. We don't care if it's in Bible or not, it's false. Any scriptural passage attributing such conduct to God contradicts God's essential nature. Fact, man. Come on now. Let's be real with ourselves. My brothers say they worship products, celebrities, money, materials, Bible, pastors, everything everyone worship a false deity who's in the image of something, but we, the faithless, worship the great spirit unseen. Tell them again. Tell them again. See, I'm false God tripping over here. I got too much to clean up. I've been active in the Israelite community a long time. Over 2 decades, over half my life. I got a lot to clean up. And before then, of course, mama and grandmama and them had me up in the church. There's a lot to clean up. So I'm false God tripping. Now, if I smell a false God somewhere, it's getting called out. I don't care if you like it or not. So what? So what? Deal with it. Deal with it. Huh? Because you know what the problem is? It ain't enough of us tripping. Because you know good and well. You understand that you done had questions all your life about a lot of this stuff and that you never had no answer for. But you just jumped on out there and pressed play on it because you figure everybody else doing it. This must be the way to go. No, I'm false God tripping. How about that? Look at this. Homily 2, chapter 44, the same continue. Direct teaching. This chapter contains one of the attached text's clearest criticisms of sacrificial religion. If he is fond, or if the Almighty loves fat, y'all know fat comes from the organs that you got to cut out the victim before you offer it up as a burnt offering or a sin. Or you got to cut the organs out of that thing. So Abraham was going to cut the organs out of Isaac before he was stopped. Jephthah, the judge who offered up his daughter as a burnt offering, cut her organs out and then cut the fat off the organs. If he is fond of fat, sacrifices, offerings, and drink offerings, who then is without need? And who is holy and pure and perfect? Peter also rejects portrayals of God as living in a tent or, a temple or a church. This is the house of God. You hear that a lot today. Requiring lamps, dwelling in smoke, arriving with weapons, loving warfare, or favoring murderers. Plain English meaning. Peter argues that the Creator cannot need animal fat. Come on now. Animal fat. Why would the Creator need animal fat? And again, you get the fat from off the organs, meaning what? You got to torture the animal first. You got to slit his throat, hang it upside down, collect his blood, and skin it down, skin the animal down or the victim down to the muscle tissue. Then drop that blade in that chest cavity, pull down like you unzipping a coat, separate the rib cage and get the cutting out organs. Then chop off the lower extremities, wash the organs in the lower extremities in water, place the chopped off head, washed off organs and legs in order on the barbecue pit or what you call the altar of burnt offering. Then take the fat that you cut off the organs and throw it on the coals that's up under the altar. Take the blood and play in the blood. Sprinkle it on the 4 corners of the altar. Some cases make a blood border. And then you set that barbecue pit you call altar of burnt offering on fire as a sweet smelling savor or a sweet smelling aroma to your God. Peter argues that the Creator cannot need animal fat, slaughtered animals, food offerings. Right, like what you feeding the Creator? The Creator needs you to bring him some offerings for food. Think. See, that's the thing. Religion causes you not to think for yourself. Think for a minute, Johnny. Put your thinking caps on. We're in a bad situation as humanity, as mankind. We're in a bad situation. You're not thinking for yourselves anymore. You bring a food offering so the one receiving the offering can do what with the food, y'all? Just look at it. No, so they can eat it, so they can consume it. Oh, so now we feeding the Creator now. Is that what we doing? The Creator of suns, moons, and stars and countless worlds needs you to feed it. Think for a minute. Man, it's all bad. It's all bad. You don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes. You don't know the game that's being played with you. Because if you did, you'll be out here tripping like I am, like the Creator Gang is, like we are, should I say. You'll be out here tripping. You bringing a food offering to your deity is so you can feed your deity. Huh? Oh, so now we feed the deity like we feed our children now. No, I cook for my short leggers. Huh? Oh, so now, so we're feeding the creator of suns, moons, and stars now. Make it make sense, brothers and sisters. Peter argues that the creator cannot need animal fat, slaughtered animals, food offerings, wine offerings, lamps, smoke, tents, or other material provisions. A God who created the universe does not need human beings to feed him. The hell is wrong with us today? Oh, brother, when you go through the offerings in Leviticus, you know, they're all spiritual. These would get the hell out of here with all that. These was literal offerings. These were literal animals being tortured, heads chopped off, guts ripped out, organs cut out, blood splattered, skin down to the muscle tissue. What that spiritual body? These were physical offerings that you will bring into the deity, that the deity will consume whole on the altar. Also, now we feeding God now. Like my imam say, him just a baby. Don't forget the binky. Now, what we gotta do? We gotta feed your deity now and then burp him, belch him, put him to sleep, warm his milk up. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? A God or the Almighty One who created the universe does not need human beings to feed him, genius. The criticism is directed against the idea that God enjoys the smoke, blood, and fat of sacrificed animals. Such a portrayal makes the Almighty resemble a needy human ruler or who? Pagan deity, rather than the perfect creator. See, that's who we roll with. I don't know who you roll with. I don't know who you roll with. I don't know who you roll with. And he already said that he ain't even give you no commandment of burnt offerings and sacrifices when you left Egypt. So what the hell are we doing? And then you got to take it a step further. If he never gave it, then how could his son come and die? You dig? And as a fulfillment of something that his father never gave in the first place. His father never gave. He never gave a commandment of burnt offerings and sacrifices. So how could his son come and die to be a fulfillment of something his father never gave? How about y'all murdered that man? How about you black-hearted, urine-drinking bastards murdered this man because he was telling you about and preaching to you about the light of his father, the light of the creator. And you was in so much darkness that you murdered this man. And got the unmitigated gall to turn this into a fulfillment of bloody sacrifices, head chopping, organ cutting, and blood sprinkling. Yeah. But look, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Yo, this is Peter 2,000 years ago telling you this. Yeah. You fighting an uphill battle. You up Dung Creek without a paddle. This ain't something new that we didn't came up with. These are ancient Nazarene teachings that predate your Nicene councils and all the rest of your 21 ecumenical councils when they was deciding what's canonical and what's heretical. Okay, we're going to put these books together and call them the 27 books of the New Testament. Anything else we're going to put over to the side as heretical. These are those teachings that predate your Nicene councils and all that. And as we see, Peter ain't holding no punch. He's like, nah, bro, that's off. That shit is off. You dig? The Almighty would never tempt you to do evil. The hell is wrong with you? He tempted God. God tempted Abraham with evil to go chop up his son, offer him up as a burnt offering. Is it a sin to murder your child? Is it a sin to offer up your children or your child as a burnt offering? Everybody with a brain gonna say, yeah. So God, your God, tempted Abraham to sin then. And Abraham said, sir, yes, sir, I'm willing to sin to prove my devotion. Make that make sense. But the book of James say God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. That's James 1 and 13. So that contradicts Genesis 22, 1 and 2. God tempted Abraham and told him, offer up your son, your only son Isaac, as a burnt offering. Is it a sin to burnt offering your child? Murder your child? Everybody with a brain gonna say yes. Okay, let's take it a step further. Let me walk with you. Let's take it a step further. Okay, well, that means Abraham's God or biblical God tempted Abraham to sin then. Right? Everybody with a brain has to say yes. Why? Why? Because you just admitted it's a sin to burnt offering or murder your child. Correct? Yes. So if that's the case, then your God tempted Abraham to sin. Correct? Okay. Let's take it another step. And Abraham was willing to sin to prove his devotion to his God. Correct? Oh, okay. So God does tempt men to sin to prove your devotion to him. But James 1 and 13 says God cannot be tempted with evil, neither does he tempt any man. And if you're saying Abraham was right and he's justified in doing that, then how can you be mad at Andrea Yates who heard the voice of God and drowned her babies in the bathtub? How can you be mad at her? How can you say or twist your mouth and say, oh, that wasn't the right, she wasn't listening to the Spirit of God? Well, that means Abraham wasn't either then. And that means Jephthah the judge who went through with it. Jephthah finished the job. Read Judges 11 verses 29 to 34. Jephthah finished the job. He offered up his virgin daughter as a burnt offering. After he just finished producing many widows and orphans amongst the Ammonites. He offered up his daughter as a burnt offering, his virgin daughter. And he did it. He made the vow under the power, under the unction of the Holy Spirit. That's why I say start at verse 29. The Spirit of the Lord was on that boy. And then he made the vow. So if you're going to say Andrea Yates was not in the right spirit or listening to the right spirit when she drowned her babies in the bathtub, you got to say that Abraham in the Bible wasn't listening to the right spirit, nor was Jephthah. Oh, wait. Cosmon Cal in the building, my beloved brother. What's the word? The cloud kicker. Hey, man, I'm ready to go ahead and punch on these boys about this presentation we got coming up, man. This chapter does not merely criticize badly performed sacrifices. It questions the entire idea that God could like or be fond of sacrificial blood, fat, and offering. And again, these are the pre-Nicene Christian library. These are ancient Nazarene teachings. They was questioning your Bible back then. They were questioning things that was written in Torah back then. And saying, no, that understanding is off. That's not about the Creator. That's the devil. Again, we got Yahshua with the Easy E curl, got the Soul Glow popping, got the activator juice. But notice what he got there. Bread and grapes, man. Parsley. You dig? Pears. Well, I see some pomegranates down there. And some seeded grapes. And boy. Yeah. You see that? See, the Nazarenes and them, their scenes and all that, the Ebionites, these brothers and them was plant-based. Yeah. Cal, C-Lot just sent me. I'm about to go ahead and put these visuals on that doc, boy. Y'all already had a doc, bro. Yeah, I know. C-Lot hit me up. I'm about to go ahead and put the visuals in the doc, boy. It's over. It's over. Boy, it's over. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna jump on that as soon as I get off her. All right. Was Jesus or Yahshua vegetarian? The ancient evidence. Let's jump down though. Let's jump down. You go look at the last two parts that we done did, and you'll see all the way down to this 43rd page of this document right here. We're gonna roll this out. Just let your soul glow, boy. Well, they show Yahshua the Nazarene, boy, with the Jerry curl, boy. Got the activator juice popping, baby. Y'all remember Soul Glow? Coming to America, Eddie Murphy and them back in the day, boy, that man whole family was sitting on the couch. Boy, they got up, him, his mama, his grandmama, everybody had activator juice on they left all activator juice on that couch. That was funny, boy. Classic movie. Classic movie. Good, boy. Good, that boy. All right, what else we got? Let's show that. Easy money. Easy money. I know somebody mad, but look, we do that to get you to think. You put your thinking cap on. Put your thinking caps on. Part 4. What the Clementine homilies teach as a whole. The combined passages produce the following theology. 1. Animal sacrifice was not God's original command. All right. They argue that God did not desire animals to be killed or kilt, K-I-L-T. You know how we talk. Boy got killed. God did not desire animals to be killed, did not originally command sacrifice, prefers mercy, and regards sacrifice as a practice that was later removed because it never truly belonged to divine law. Point number 2. Sacrificial passages belong to the corrupted written tradition. The false pericope doctrine explains how sacrificial regulations could appear in scripture, even though Peter believes God never desired them. The original revelation came through Moses, but corrupt material was later mixed into the written text. Point number 3. Flesh eating is associated with bloodlust and degeneration. Homily 8 does not treat flesh eating as part of the original creation order. It traces it to the giants. Rejection of manna, craving for blood, violence, cannibalism, disease, and pollution of the earth. Point number 4. Dead flesh and blood are explicitly forbidden. Homily 7 commands abstention from dead flesh, blood, carcasses, strangled animals, torn animals, food offered to idols. Point number 5. Sacrificial meals create spiritual fellowship. A person who eats at a sacrificial or demonic table becomes spiritually subject to the power worshipped at that table. Point number 6. The true worship of the Almighty is ethical. The alternative to sacrifice is mercy. Facts. Prayer, purity, repentance, justice, sobriety, baptism, good works, and knowledge of the Almighty. Point number 7. The position is broader than opposition to pagan idol meat. Some individual passages concern pagan sacrifices or prohibited carcasses. However, Homily 3, section 45 expressly says that God did not want animals slaughtered and did not originally ordain sacrifices. Homily 8 presents flesh eating itself as originating in the corruption of the giants. The total argument is therefore substantially broader than a simple prohibition against eating meat offered to pagan idols. Part 5. See, that's what I'm saying. The homily or the ancient Nazarene teachings is letting you know that no, you dig? This is not an option. This is not something that's like, oh well, you know, if you want to chew on an animal, you can. No. This was never a part of the program in the first place. All these things are later additions. And that's why they are here telling you that the Torah is corrupt. It's corrupted. The ancient gospel of the Nazarenes, what survives? Look what it says. The ancient work scholars conveniently called the Gospel of the Nazarenes no longer survives as the complete manuscript. It is reconstructed from short quotations and comments preserved by who? Church fathers, especially who? Jerome. So that means your church fathers knew. They knew all this. And decided to call this type of understanding heretical. And anything that was opposite of this, such as flesh chewing, warfare, animal sacrificing, blood spilling, organ cutting, they said that's authorized or canonical. But if you come in with a message of peace, love, anti-war, anti-flesh chewing, and false God down, then guess what, boy? That's heretical. Your church fathers knew about these teachings. Because guess what? These teachings were out before they decided to form your Bible, especially the New Testament. Decided to form and come up with 27 books and say, okay, this right here is the New Testament. These writings were already out. Ooh-wee. It is reconstructed from short quotations and comments preserved by church fathers, especially Jerome. Its precise relationship to the Gospel of the Hebrews and other Jewish Christian Gospels, it remains debated. Okay. Part 6, the ancient Gospel of the Ebionites. The two ancient so-called Jewish Christian sayings most directly relevant to flesh and sacrifice are conveniently classified as fragments of the Gospel of the Ebionites, preserved by who? Epiphanius, another church father. Y'all, they knew about all this. They knew about all this and decided to pronounce them as heretical. Trip off this. A message of peace and harmony is heretical. A message of warfare and confusion is authorized or what's called canon today. You ain't heard nothing evil coming out these texts. Nothing. Epiphanius. So we got Jerome, we got Epiphanius, right? All them lived during the Nicene era. Jerome is the one responsible for the Latin Vulgate. Your New Testament written in Latin. You ever heard of Eusebius? Eusebius was Constantine's bishop. Then we got Epiphanius right here in the Panarion. Look, I got all these books. I got them all highlighted and everything. And like my brother Cal just said, so if y'all haven't been praising the Creator, who y'all been praying to? Who you been praising? Fragment preserved in Panarion 30. Jesus declares, I am come to do away with sacrifices. Y'all, this is a so-called church historian, a church father who lived 1700 years ago, lived during the Nicene era. Notice today we going over pre-Nicene Christian literature or ancient Nazarene literature. So during that time, which is after the pre-Nicene era, they are telling you that these writings are out here. That the original people of the way wasn't flesh chewers and they was anti-war. And they knew that they was dealing with the Creator versus y'all who were dealing with the false gods under the inspiration of Baal and all them. They knew it. So their message then is our message today. Weapons down, flesh down, and false gods down. That was their message then, and that's our message today, the faithists. Which means you got an unwavering faith or conviction in the Almighty Creator. You dig? And we know the Almighty ain't condoning none of this flesh chewing and this warfare and this animal torturing or this false God worshiping. Yahshua declares, I am come to do away with sacrifices. Good night. The remainder warns that divine wrath will continue if the people do not cease sacrifice, in plain English meaning. Yahshua's mission is presented as abolishing the sacrificial system rather than becoming another animal-like sacrifice within it. Now he said, look, I'm here to end this. We saw that when he went to the temple on the Passover. He got busy. Shut it down. Freed the animals who were about to be sold for sacrifices for the Passover. Shut it down. Went there and shut it all down. You know what I mean? And that's what got them killed. K-I-L-T, killed. Yeah. Hey, Cal, I was just looking at the video last night. They was talking about, it was a woman. She talking about Paul's a literary invention. I just was looking at something last night. I think it was it on Myth Vision? It was on one of them channels. I said, dang, I wouldn't be surprised though. Because now they arguing and debating that out of his 13 letters, which would be half of the New Testament, right? And if you bring in Luke and the rest of them, he's over half of the New Testament, right? And you bring in if you bring in Acts, which is the writings of Luke, supposedly, and the book of Luke, which is Paul's homeboy. You understand? Paul is responsible for way over half of the New Testament. Easy money. You dig? But, I mean, they debating that out of them 13 letters, he may or may not be responsible for 7 of them. They're arguing that now. Fragment preserved in Panerion, Epiphanius again. Another church father. Nicene error. In response to the preparation of Passover, Yeshua asked whether he truly desires to eat flesh with you. Plain English meaning. The ordinary wording about desiring to eat the Passover is deliberately altered by inserting a denial concerning flesh. This is one of the clearest ancient Jewish Christian pieces of evidence connecting Jesus with Yeshua with abstention from meat at Passover. Well, they kept the Passover, but guess what? They didn't eat the flesh. They didn't eat the flesh. These passages should be cited as gospel of the Ebionites. Okay, that's cool. We ain't got no problem with switching titles titles or whatever. These passages should be cited as gospel of the Ebionites, fragment Epiphanius, Panerion, 30. 16.4 through 5. Gospel of the Ebionites, fragment Epiphanius, 30.22.4. Right? They should not be labeled without qualification as surviving quotations from the ancient gospel of the Nazarene. So Epiphanius, which is a church father, is telling you he's getting his quotes from what was called during his day the gospel of the Ebionites. You know today is gospel of the Nazarenes, gospel of the Holy 12. That's what you know it as today. But those quotations come from a piece of existing work in his day that was called the gospel of the Ebionites. And don't forget, he's a church father, a man that's responsible for determining which books go into your 27-book New Testament and what don't. But his quotations about these clearly show that they all knew about it. They all knew about this. Part 7, Gospel of the Holy 12, sometimes called Gospel of the Nazarenes. Now look at this. Look what's in chapter 1. Cal, if you know, you know. They don't even know who Apollonius of Tyana is, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all got to catch all the way up. It's a lot going on, man. The rabbit hole, you don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes. You don't. You don't. You've been hugging on Bible with so much reference and licking your fingers and thinking this deal is just infallible. And you look, you've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. Yeah. The false deities and gods been playing humanity like puppets. And you wonder why we tripping. Creator Gang is false God tripping out here. And look, it's our duty to expose these false ass gods. Absolutely. It's our duty. Look what's being said and what's called the Gospel of the Holy 12, which has quotations in it from the Gospel of the Ebionites. Which your church fathers knew about 1800 years ago, 1700 years ago. Chapter 1, verse 5. You can get the Gospel of the Holy 12 online today. It'll be at your door tomorrow. And before you go spend, because I done heard people that went and spent $3,500 on a Gospel of the Nazarenes, or look, if you want to spend you a couple $1,000, you can throw that over this way. I'll give you a discount and all. I got a gospel of the Nazarenes. I will mail to you same day delivery overnight. Before you go spend $3,500, $3,500 big ones. You can throw it. Look, I'll take $2,000 off. You can send me $1,500 right now, and I will gift wrap you a gospel of the Nazarenes and have it at your door tomorrow before the cock crow. Man, don't you ever spend no $3,500 on this information. Is you crazy? But if you're feeling generous now, you can hit that Cash App scrolling across that screen right now. Send me $1,500. I'll get it to you tomorrow before the cock crow. You understand me? You understand that? Watch this right here. All right, chapter 1, verse 5 in the Gospel of the Holy 12. Yeah, exactly. You can find free books. I don't know why. I look, man. I know a sister too. She's like, Malaki, I spent $3,500 on my gospel tonight. I say, woman, you did what? Man, look, $3,500 sound like $1 million to me right now. I'm gonna keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it across the backboard with you. Man, look. Hey, if you're feeling generous now, you go ahead and send me a couple thousand. I'll send it right to you. I'm gonna keep it all the way solid. I'm gonna keep it across the backboard with you. $3,500, boy. I'll be moving around here like I'm rich right now with $3,500. What you talking about? What, at one time? Man, look, let me get that. Yeah, you mean you spent $3,500 on a book? You dig? And as she was telling me that, I had opened up because I got one sitting in one of my drawers. Right now, she was saying that I had just opened up my drawer. I just was looking at that deal like, I can't believe this woman just spent $3,500 on one of these deals. Back when I first got mine, I don't even think I spent $40 on it. I think mine was like $20 and some change. You dig? And somebody, a few people I heard bought the gospel of the Nazarene for $3,500. I started scratching my head. I say, sister, let me tell you something. If you ever feeling generous, you can hit my Cash App scrolling across that screen right there. And I'd have made sure you got that immediately. Look, you could have got my gospel of the Nazarenes with all my notes in it, with all my underlined passages and asterisks beside it, and I would have next day delivery. So if you're ever feeling generous and you feel like throwing a couple racks into your brother's pocket, come on home with that. Hey, I need that. I can't even front. Come on home with that, boy. All right, so this is in the Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 1, verse 5. John the Baptist is predicted to neither eat flesh meats nor drink strong drink. Plain English. John is portrayed as consecrated from the womb and completely abstaining from flesh and intoxicants. Look at that. But, in Bible, he was eating grasshoppers. You think the locusts mean grasshoppers? The bugs that were sent through Egypt. No, it's not true. Chapter 2 of the Gospel of the Holy 12. Hey, what you say, Imad? She could have got mine for the 30. Look, I'll take 2,000 off. You could have got mine 1,500. You could have kept 2 racks. Come on home. Man, look, I'd have had the package looking so fly for you. Man, look, don't play with me. I'd have had that sucker looking fly. You'd have thought that deal got FedEx from the throne of God. That deal would have been right on your stoop. I'd have had me a recording that had some music in that deal. Oh, you'd have thought that deal was FedEx from the throne of your God. Spending $3,500 on a book. Is you crazy? Man, I know whoever sold that to you was like, hey, right on time. Chapter 2, verse 7. Mary and Joseph are instructed, you shall eat no flesh. Yahshua, the Nazarene, is also described as taking neither flesh nor strong drink and no razors to touch his head. Meaning he was a Nati dreadhead. Salute the Nati dreadhead, man. Salute my brother Dreadful Cosmon. Everything locked up from his hair down to his beard on his chin. These men never had razors on their head. These men never tasted flesh. What about this? These men never even drank Don Julio. You know, you drink your Don Julio today and your Remy Martin and you. These brothers was all in. You dig? Plain English. The text transformed Yahshua's prenatal consecration into a vegetarian and Nazarite-like commitment extending to his parents. That may be the next hustle. You know what I mean? Start selling some books around this deal. I got a gang up, man. Chapter 5 in the Gospel of the Holy 12, verse 1. The wise men purify themselves by abstaining from flesh and strong drink before seeking the Messiah. Plain English. Flesh abstention is presented as spiritual preparation. As spiritual preparation for encountering Yahshua. See, all these are your pre-Nicene, come out your pre-Nicene Christian library. And even your church fathers knew who were directly responsible with putting your Bible together. Right? All you got to do is look up which church father was the first one to furnish a full list of the 27 books of your New Testament. And in what year did he do this? Read them and weep. It'll blow your mind. Like, dang, hold on, you talking about 500 AD. They finally came up with a list and said, okay, these are your 27 accepted books of the New Testament. Right, you talking about 500 of the Common Era when the New Testament was officially compiled or put together by your church fathers or your church authorities. But all these men who were present and making these decisions knew about these writings of the Nazarenes, you dig, which totally contradict and conflict with your accepted Bible. Y'all understand that? Y'all drop a 2,000 in the chat, man. Easy money. Would you say, Dread, I'll bring it to you for 3,500. You hear me? I'll bring it right to you. Good Lord. Let's see what Iman say. For those who need to know, the Nazarene writings are way older than the New Testament. They are. They are. Let's get into chapter 6, verse 1 of the Gospel of the Holy 12, or what you would call Gospel of the Ebionites. Joseph and Mary observed Passover with brethren who abstain from bloodshed and the eating of flesh. So the Nazarenes observed Passover without chewing on lamb and without putting lamb blood over the doorpost. Really? So if it's Passover that you want to observe, because we all know Israelites were in Egypt and all that, and Israelites left Egypt. You did? But Israelites would have left Egypt regardless if you slew over 100,000 or 300,000 lambs. And you put pools of blood over your doorpost. Like the Almighty needed hundreds of thousands of his innocent creatures to die, and then their blood played with in order to release a people from bondage. Think. Yeah, we're not using our heads anymore. We're not thinking for ourselves anymore. We're not thinking for ourselves. Remember, the Almighty never commanded burnt offerings and sacrifices when you left Egypt. The Passover is a sacrifice. Exodus 12, verses 21 through 27 tell you that. Plain English. Yahshua's family and religious community are portrayed as celebrating Passover without slaughtering or eating an animal. You see? Chapter 7, verse 4 and 10. John eats the fruit of the locust or carob tree rather than insects. Here you go, talking about, well, John the Baptist ate locust, and you think it's a damn bug, a grasshopper. No, y'all, it's the fruit of a carob tree, the locust bean. God. So your whole life you've been thinking John the Baptist, who baptized Jesus in the wilderness, was eating grasshoppers. Think. This man was eating grasshoppers, locusts. I thought the locust was one of the plagues according to the Bible that hit Egypt. So John the Baptist was eating a plague? He was eating grasshoppers and bugs. You're not thinking no more. You're not thinking. No, he was eating the locust bean, the curb off the curb tree. He commands the people to abstain from blood, strangled creatures, dead birds and beasts, cruelty, and anything obtained through wrongdoing. He asks whether animal blood can wash away sin and answers that it cannot. You see that? Come on, plain English. John's repentance message includes mercy toward animals and rejection of animal blood as a means of atonement. See, these ancient Nazarenes wasn't doing that, and even your church fathers who put together your New Testament believe that. They writing about it. Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 20, verses 7 through 8. Yahshua blesses those who imprison or kill no innocent creature. Seek the good of all living beings and abstain from everything obtained through bloodshed and death. You see that? Plain English. See, we gonna make it make sense. Credit gang gonna make it make sense. And once again, shout out to our brother Nazir Israel, who escaped the maniac Pastor Charles Dial and said he found his tribe over here with Credit Gang. Man, y'all scroll up and give that brother some love, man. The brother named Nazir Israel. He said he's escaped from the plantation of Straightway. You know what I mean? All praises to the Almighty, because Pastor Dial is a damn maniac. But I'm going to tell you, he ain't doing nothing but mimicking the character of the God he serves, his deity, which is the envious, bloodthirsty, warmongering maniac who, if he don't got his blood, he's off his meds, he start dropping thousands of bodies. And he off his meds. You ain't gave him his blood. Huh? You talking about a deity that's about ready to kill Moses because he forgot to circumcise his son, and his wife Zipporah had to take a sharp stone and cut the foreskin off her son's penis, and then she took that skin, that bloody foreskin, and guess what she did with it? She put it on Moses' big toe, laid it on his foot. And your God was pacified when he seen the bloody foreskin of a baby's penis on Moses' foot. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Plain English. Avoiding products obtained through killing is treated as part of righteousness and spiritual blessedness. Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 21, verse 8. Yahshua declares that he came to end sacrifices, feast of blood, the offering of flesh and blood, and the eating of flesh and blood. And you know what? Yahshua in the Gospel of the Holy 12, his message is identical with Yahshua that is seen in Owaspy. Exact same message. You dig? And that's why when I first read Owaspy, I went right to Yahshua. I said, let me see what they talk about Yahshua real quick. And I noticed, okay, it's saying the same thing that the Nazarene literature is saying. That all the pre-Nicene Christian literature is saying. It say this about Joshua the Nazarene. Right in there. I say, wow, we got something here. Yeah, look, if y'all go read that Exodus, the 4th chapter, Moses on his way back into Egypt. And out of nowhere, I'm talking about out of nowhere, the deity got mad and said, move out the way. I'm about to kill this nigga Moses. I'm about to lay him flat. Moses forgot to circumcise his son, Gershom. Right? Moses was in the bed, sleep. His wife seen it, went and grabbed a sharp stone, cut the foreskin of that little baby's penis, that bloody penis, and then put it through it. The KJV say threw it at his feet. Man, read it in a different version. That deal say she placed that bloody foreskin of that baby's penis. She put it on Moses' foot while Moses was asleep. Man, that's crazy, man. Like, what the hell? And when the deity saw the bloody foreskin of a baby's penis on its father's foot, the deity was pacified. So, okay, go ahead, Moses. I'm going to let you live. Yeah, that shit crazy. Y'all know good and well, they don't even sound right. You see, God must have been in the corner plotting. Yeah, I go read that Exodus 4 about Moses, about Moses. He was about to be killed on his way back into Egypt. Yeah, and out of nowhere, it just say, in the way God sought to kill Moses. And his wife peeped it and took a sharp ass stone and cut the foreskin off little Gershom's penis. You dig? And I always thought that she just threw the foreskin over like toward his feet. No, she put the bloody foreskin of Gershom's penis on his daddy's foot. What the hell is going on here? Would you say, BC? What the hell are we talking about foreskins and big toes for? I know, man. It's crazy. All right. Yahshua declares in Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 21, verse 8. Jesus declares that he came to end sacrifices, feast of blood, the offering of flesh and blood, and the eating of flesh and blood. The wilderness plague is interpreted as punishment for the ancestors' craving for flesh. Plain English. This is an explicit, universal, anti-sacrifice, anti-flesh declaration within. Chapter 28, verses 2 through 4, Gospel of the Holy 12. Yahshua tells a young man who has brought rabbits and pigeons that God originally gave humanity fruits for food. He condemns killing fellow creatures and says that one greater than Moses has come to remove bloody sacrifices, the feast held upon them, and the eating of the slain animals. Grains and fruits are substituted as pure, bloodless offering. Grains and fruits. All right, here you go. The Most High don't want no salad, nigga. He want his flesh. Yeah, your false God. Plain English. The original plant diet is restored, and the Mosaic sacrificial regulations are treated as inferior to the teachings of Yahshua. Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 31, verse 2 through 7. Yahshua denies that his teaching about eating his body and drinking his blood refers to literal flesh eaten in the temple. He contrasts spiritual food with the ancestors who craved flesh and died in the wilderness plague. Plain English, the Eucharistic language is interpreted symbolically, not as approval of literal blood or flesh consumption. Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 32, verses 2 through 9. Yahshua says that his words are spirit and life. His body is nourished from grain. His blood is represented by the fruit of the vine. He personally partakes of fruits and seeds. His disciples are to eat the same kind of food. All creatures originally ate herbs and fruit. Plain English. The Eucharist becomes a plant-based offering of bread and fruit of the vine, while the creation idea is universal herbivory. Wow. Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 33, verses 1 through 10. Yahshua teaches that no animal, bird, or human blood offering removes sin. There it go. There it go. There it go. Jesus was a man, right? No animal, bird, or human blood offering removes sin. Shedding innocent blood increases condemnation. Repentance and moral amendment remove sin. Blood sacrifices were not God's original command. Fruit, seeds, and herbs were ordained as food. Temple altars were polluted with blood. People must shed no innocent blood and eat no flesh. Grain and the fruit of the vine become the true memorial offering. Plain English. This chapter rejects both the sacrificial theory of atonement and the consumption of the sacrificed animal. Good night, boy. Chapter 38, verses 2 through 6, Yahshua teaches that benefits obtained by harming animals are unrighteous. Blood-stained hands and flesh-defiled mouths prevent spiritual purity. Grains and fruit are the lawful sustenance of righteous people. Disciples must keep their hands from bloodshed, and no flesh food is to enter their mouths. Look at that. That chapter permits merciful killing only when an animal is suffering incurably or is dangerous or is dangerously threatening life. It's the only time it's allowed, right? If that animal is dangerously about to chew up that little baby over there, or if the animal is suffering, like in other words, put him out of his misery. That's the only time you can go ahead and get down on the animal. Other than that, nah, it ain't permitted. Right? That's like a cane corso or pit bull broke loose. Was about to chew up your child. You gotta put him on down. Gotta put him on down. You know what I mean? Or if the animal was suffering, like the pain was unbearable, suffering. You got permission to go ahead and put him down too. That's it. All right, plain English. This is one of the text's strongest absolute dietary prohibitions. It combines vegetarianism with opposition to animal exploitation. Chapter 42, verse 6, Yahshua compares divorce and flesh eating. Both are said to have been permitted by Moses because of human hardness, but neither belong to the original creation order. Plain English, flesh eating is classified as a temporary concession to human weakness rather than God's original will. Chapter 49, verses 5 through 11, Yahshua was questioned about abolishing sacrifices of sheep, oxen, and birds. He answers that the temple should be a house of prayer. It has been made a house of slaughter. Look at that. It's a slaughterhouse. Blood offerings have polluted it. Obedience is better than sacrifice. God is weary of burnt offerings. True sacrifice is justice and moral cleansing. And everything in the outer court connected with blood offerings will be removed. Good night, plain English. The temple is condemned not as a place of prayer, but because it has been converted into a slaughterhouse. Like the slaughterhouses today. Like the slaughterhouses today. Easy money. Right? Chapter 51, verses 12 through 18. Temple scribes ask why Yahshua's disciples teach that eating animal flesh is unlawful, even when the animals were sacrificed according to Moses. Yahshua answers that the commands reflect human doctrine and lust. Jeremiah denied that the Almighty commanded blood offerings at the Exodus. The Almighty originally provided seed and fruit as food. And later regulations were permissions connected with hardness of heart. Plain English. Plain English. Hold on here. The text directly addresses the objection that Moses allows sacrificial meat. Yahshua distinguishes Moses' concession from God's original law. Chapter 60, verses 1 through 4, Gospel of the Holy 12. Yahshua drives the animal dealers from the temple, releases the oxen, sheep, and doves, and refuses to permit vessels of blood to be carried through the temple or animals to be killed there. Plain English. The cleansing of the temple was explicitly transformed into an animal liberation and anti-sacrifice event. Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 64, verses 4 through 11. At the so-called Last Supper, bread, wine, oil, and herbs are present. Judas asks where the Passover lamb is. Yahshua has forbidden the lamb to be killed. Yahshua says that he came to remove all blood offerings. He also came to remove the eating of animals killed by human beings. Fruits, seeds, and herbs are identified as the original food. Peace with God is found through righteous living, not innocent bloodshed. That makes sense. That makes sense. Plain English. Plain English. The Last Supper is presented as an entirely bloodless Passover without a slaughtered lamb. Without a slaughtered lamb. We disciple Eli, now you're calling the Almighty weak. And I weakened since the time of Moses that I need to incarnate myself. In order that my creation could understand me. You got to get you in a wasp. No, the creator has never been a man. Catch up again. You can't kill the Almighty, the creator. No, stop it. Stop. Jesus was a man. He came through the womb of a woman. He had to be taught how to walk, how to wipe his rear end, how to brush his teeth. He fought it, had morning breath, had a wide range of emotions. He was a man. He was a man. He wasn't a demigod. He was a man. Okay? He was stiff in the morning, had to stretch, had to exercise. No, the creator ain't never been a man. The creator is not in the image or form or figure of a man, woman, angel, animal, or bug. See, you got to think. It's time to elevate, mature. You got to mature spiritually speaking. You got to come up off the nursery rhymes. The creator has never been a man. The creator never came through the womb of a woman. And if Jesus was a man, that mean he got up in the morning and sat on that commode like I do every morning. Made a deposit into the Mississippi River. Yeah, had morning breath. Yeah. You had a wide range of emotions, was stiff, was cold, experienced fear. No. Jesus was a man. How do we know? He came through the womb of a woman. He slid through the womb of a woman. That means he's a man. No, try again. That's off. That's off. The chapter ahead in chapter, 65. The chapter ahead and says that Judas reports to Caiaphas. So look at him. He go tell on Messiah. Chapter ahead and states that Judas reports to Caiaphas that Yahshua celebrated Passover without killing the lamb. Caiaphas regards this as an offense worthy of death, plain English. Yahshua's opposition to the Passover killing is made part of the accusation against him. Good night, boy. Chapter 50, 60, 75, 78, verse 8. During Yahshua's trial, he is asked whether he abolishes the sacrifices of the law and the eating of flesh attributed to Moses. Yahshua answers that one greater than Moses is present, plain English. The text portrays abolition of sacrifice and flesh eating as a central reason for the religious authorities' hostility toward Yahshua. And then, Yahshua was praying. He was asking his father. Now, think about that. The creator is asking his father. I guess his father would be another creator. God is asking his father to take this cup away from him. He's trembling. He's scared. And once again, you can't kill the Almighty. So the whole story is off. You dig? No, Jesus is an invented God. Shout out to the real man who they based the story of the God off of. They based the story, Jesus Christ is a false God. He's a made up God. And his story is based off a wide range of other stories, but mainly the story of Yahshua, the Essene or the Nazarene. And there's other stories that great men that came before him. Yeah, Jesus is a false God. It's a made up God. Yeah, that's worshipped in this earth today. One of the top false gods in the earth today. Yeah. Shout out to the man, Yahshua, the Essene, the Nazarene. Shout out to him. You dig? But that's not, you see, what it is you've been hoodwinked. You've been hoodwinked into believing that what you're reading in the Bible, that everything is right. And that's not true. It's false. A lot of it's false. Yeah, Jesus Christ is a false God. You know, and he was a man, so you're not supposed to worship a man anyway. You're supposed to worship and roll with the Creator. You worship the Creator by doing righteous works and services to the Creator's creation. Yeah, that's how you do that. All right. No, Jesus Christ is a made-up God. I know most of y'all don't want to hear that. It's just the truth. You dig? It's just the truth. Shout out to the real man, Yahshua, the same, and salute him for the major work that he did. You dig? But that's where the bus stopped with us. We not drinking his blood or covering his blood. Y'all murdered that brother. That's our brother. Y'all murdered him. For speaking the truths that you hearing over these airwaves today. Yeah. So the very thing that Creator Gang is talking about is the very thing that got the real Yahshua, the Essene / Nazarene, murdered. That's just what it is. All right, chapter 50, 60, 78. Chapter 85 through 86, Gospel of the Holy 12. After the resurrection, sacrifices in the temple temporarily cease. Animals held for sacrifice are released. Yahshua's commands a pure offering of fruits. Bread and wine replace bloody offerings. And the crucifixion is interpreted as delivering the world from former bloody sacrifices and feasts. Plain English. The resurrection confirms the transition from animal sacrifice to a bloodless memorial offering. Chapter 90, verses 6 through 8. Yahshua gives regulations for the community. Children are to be raised without flesh or strong drink. Y'all see this? We talking about the Jehovah's kingdom or the Creator's kingdom on earth. Here are some of the regulations. Children are to be raised without flesh or strong drink. They are to avoid harming animals. They are to avoid harming animals. Look at this. At 7 years old, they are to be admonished against flesh eating and hunting. Adults who continue eating flesh are to remain in the outer court. You can't even come up in here. They are not admitted to the higher mysteries until they repent. Plain English. Vegetarianism becomes a formal requirement of a religious formation and full community participation, aka entrance into the kingdom of the Creator on this earth. Yeah, false God down, weapons down, and flesh down. You stank. You can't come up in here with all that flesh on. Can't come up in here with that flesh in your throat. Final conclusions. The Clementine Homilies. The Clementine Homilies genuinely contain an ancient, sustained criticism of animal sacrifice, sacrificial meat, dead flesh, blood consumption, pagan sacrificial tables, and the idea that the Almighty desires slaughter. The strongest arguments are found in Homily 2, section 44, Homily 3, section 45, Homily 3, section 51 through 52 and 56, Homily 7, 3 through 4, section 8, Homily 8, 15 through 20, Homily 11, 13 through 15, and Homily 12 and 6. The Homilies explain sacrificial commandments as corrupt additions to the written Torah and portray Yahshua as restoring the original merciful law. The Gospel of the Ebionites, the ancient fragments preserved by Epiphanius, a church father, do contain Yahshua's announcement that he came to abolish sacrifices, and a Passover saying denying a desire to eat flesh. These are the closest surviving ancient Jewish Christian gospel parallels to the Clementine anti-sacrifice tradition. Gospel of the Holy 12. Uzi's modern work contains the most comprehensive and explicit vegetarian presentation of Yahshua, John the Baptist, Mary, Joseph, the disciples, and the earliest Christian community. The central shared theme across the genuinely ancient Clementine and Ebionite materials, the recurring argument is God desires mercy rather than slaughter. Animal sacrifice was not part of the original divine will. Flesh lust is associated with corruption and bloodshed. Yahshua restores the original law: repentance, justice, purity, prayer, and mercy. Replace animal blood. What y'all think? Did scribes corrupt the Torah? Ooh, wee. Somebody mad. Did scribes corrupt the Torah? Huh? Peter versus animal sacrifice. What's the title? Pre-Nicene Christian Library. Gospel of the Hebrews, Ebionites, Clementine, Homilies. What y'all think? Is the Torah, or what you know is the Bible today, corrupted? Based off all the evidence presented today. If you say it's corrupted, drop a 12,000 in the chat. If you feel it's infallible and perfect, the perfect will and word of God, type a 1 in the chat. Let me know. Ooh, wee. Ooh, wee. We cooking today, baby. Ready, gang, baby. Gang. Great gang. Much love. Man, y'all know we say them things, they scared to whisper, boy. Gang of folk mad at the gang right now. But you know what? There's a lot of people getting inspired too, man. I be getting a lot of different messages from folk, man. And a lot of people being inspired by what we doing in this hour. You dig? That's always a good thing. You dig? So we pissing off the right people and we inspiring the right people. You know what I mean? So we just gotta keep applying pressure. That's it. The vegetarian Christianity Rome tried to erase. Yeah. And who'd have thought 2,000 years later there'd be some brothers and sisters out here banging? Out here banging, baby. Shout out to my brother Yadai El Yon. What's the word? My brother. What's the word? Aki. Shout out to you and your family. Shout out to you and your family, bro. It's a unanimous 12,000. Everybody got 12,000s in the chat. Everybody got 12,000s in the chat. I don't know. We are hollering a lot of these cats. They be acting like we making this stuff up. Man, look, I'm glad y'all got some understanding today. All praises to the ever-present creator, the maker of suns, moons, and stars. Hey, man, time to come on home. Time to come on home. You dig? You're on a sinking ship. You're looking goofy like the Titanic sinking and you still over there playing the violin. It's time to get off that ship, brothers and sisters. We got the lifeline for you. You got to choose, though. You got to choose. You can't go wrong with Creator. There's no God that you can utter off your lips that's higher than the Creator, the God maker. The Creator make God. God answers to, there's someone higher than God. Whatever God you've been praying to, just know there's one higher than him or her. Yeah. The Creator, the God maker. And you can't get no higher than Creator. You dig? So that's just what it is. You can't lose with Creator, man. Y'all tap on it. Today is a great day to get outside and do something good for the next man, woman, and child. You dig? Prince talking about some let's get it. You just clicking on here, boy. I'm finna get off. Much love to my brother Prince Judah Vaughn, Cosmon in the building. Salute to the fam, man. My brother EG in the building. What up, Eric? Much love. What's the word? Yeah, I know a lot of folk be mad at us because we say the things boldly. You scared to whisper. God answers to Creator. Tell him, Cal, man. What is wrong with you? Boy, it's a lot of unlearning we got to do, man. Dig. I'm glad y'all got some understanding today. All praise to the ever-present Creator, the maker of suns, moons, and stars, that always was and ever shall be, the mighty and great Spirit, the mighty and great I Am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee, the megaton light bomb. And make no mistake, we do this for y'all. We ain't concerned about ourselves. We do this for y'all. You understand? All praises. All praises, glory, and honor. All right, y'all, I'm finna get up out of here. I'm gonna share a little bit of this Credit Gang music as I slide. And again, today's an excellent day to get outside and do something good for the next man, woman, and child. Stop being a renegade your whole life. You can do something righteous. Do something good, man. You understand me? You understand this? Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth turn into lies. Records get twisted. Records get twisted. Truth wasn't written, it lived and applied. Images carved, but they not what they imply. Copies get lifted and passed to the scribes. Hands on the script, but it slowly run dry. Circles and lines held the truth they can't hide. Pointing to the all, but reduced to a sign. Told not to seek it, just stay and comply. But light get diminished the moment it's tied. Priests in the center, the people outside. Words getting filtered before they even apply. Gatekeepers shaping what souls can't defy. Twist the truth in the text so the ego align. Nothing was said about looking inside. All of the noise outside keep the mind occupied. Truth was a whisper they learned to divide. Buried in the scriptures that were written in lies. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth turned into lies. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth turned into lies. Voices get carried and shift in the span. Truth leave the source, get reshaped by hand. Spoken outside, but not part of the plan. So hear it clear without the preaching of man. Leaders keep building the heavens they command. Guards along the path, so it passed through a brand. Teaching the code, so obedience stand. Blocking the truth from the masses caught up in the sham. Some start to notice it wasn't so grand. The rise then decline all across the land. Stories get buried, then uncovered in sand. Every time echo patterns they don't understand. Reading all the records, the mind expands. Seeing the same cycle that once sunk pan. The meanings got altered the further they ran. And they took it as truth, then made laws in the clan. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth turned into lies. Looking at records, the truth can be known. Same things repeated, then written in stone. Teachings get layered and widely outgrown. Deeper foundations not built in the homes. Voices not living now, setting the tone. Taking his law, 9 followers grown. Those who will question get left on their own. Told just accept what the elders condone. Patterns keep repeating, times clearly flown. Rise and then fall in the ways they have grown. Nothing was random, the seeds had been sown. Cycles keep turning and the harvest is wrong. Some start to see it and question the throne. Some keep defending when the proof has been shown. Nothing to argue, the cover's been blown. Just seeing it clear with no need to atone. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turn into lies. Records get twisted, the meaning get disguised. Symbols get praised while the spirit get denied. The Lord's fourth book is OSB's guide to how over time the truth's turn into lies.
Yeah.
Coming in the air, something heavy, intense. Signs in the sky, but they hide the evidence. Old text lining up that predicted events.
I speed a book that make it all make sense.
Coming in the air, something heavy, intense. Signs in the sky, but they hide the evidence. Old text lining up that predicted events.
I speed a book that make it all make sense.
Sirens in the night, nobody shocked at the noise. Yellow tape stretch where they once played as boys. Numbers on the screen turning life to a choice. Timeline scroll quick, life never had a voice. Crowds gather round, but the questions remain. Everybody seen it, but ain't got a name. Patterns in the chaos, but it's easier to blame. With whatever narrative the channels wanna frame. History buried, but it bleed through the cracks. Old warnings written, now they line up with facts. Same cycles turning, just a different set of acts. Same end result every time it collapsed. Nobody asking why the pressure's immense, or why it feel heavier just to exist. Everything loud, laced with suspense, like something got taken without any compense. Coming in the air, something heavy, intense. Signs in the sky, but they hide the evidence. Old text lining up that predicted events.
I speed a book that make it all make sense.
Coming in the air, something heavy, intense. Signs in the sky, but they hide the evidence. Old text lining up that predicted events.
I speed a book that make it all make sense.
Books full of knowledge, but the spirit get ignored. Mapped out the stars, they think Saturn's the Lord. Charts on the wall, got them feeling the shore. Cut off anything that ain't measured or explored. Teach what they see, all else is dismissed. Call it blasphemy if it don't coexist with the data they gather in the systems they script. Truth get narrowed down to the lens they equip. People walk around like they stuck in a phase. Talk like they living, but they lost in a maze. Can't tell the difference, real life in the stage. Playing out scripts that they write on a page. Try to speak deeper, get labeled intense. Say it's too much or it don't make sense. But the more that they reject, the more it commence. Like the loop that repeat with a porous defense. Coming in the air, something heavy, intense. Signs in the sky, but they hide the evidence. Old text lining up that predicted events.
I speed a book that make it all make sense.
Big buildings rise, put a crown on the place. Call it center of the world, everything in second place. Power gets stacked, now it's all about the race. Who can dominate the map, who can regulate the space. Leaders speak loud, but it's all self-interest. Every move calculated, never random in the business. Send waves out with just a widen the distance between those who comply and those in resistance. Glory on display, make it look like it's pure, but behind closed doors it's a different report. Decisions getting made that the public can't afford, where disease get patented without no cure. Expansion the goal and never knowing it end. Armies of the gods cleanse the land of descent. Every structure built will eventually bend. When it's rooted in control, it despises free men. Coming in the air, something heavy, intense. Signs in the sky, but they hide the evidence. Old text lining up that predicted events.
I speed a book to make it all make sense.
Time coming close where it won't be belief. Things getting shown, put the doubters to sleep. Not a matter of opinion, a scientific retreat. When it's sight in the eye, can't deny what it see. Proof in the works, even if it take time. Generations build just to reach that line where the truth stand clear, not hidden in lies. And the ones who deny get washed in the tide. Some will accept, some will turn away fast. some in the trance to the spells that they cast, but the shift still moved, it don't wait, it just passed. Answers was written before the questions was asked. Everything aligned and every sign killed fear. Past, meet, present, now the picture feel clear. What was once questioned now is turning the gears, and the record been there, just ignored through the years. Coming in the air, something heavy, intense. Signs in the sky, but they hide the evidence. Old text lining up that predicted events. I speed a book that make it all make